I need to speak with you as soon as possible. You might not have time to wait to get aligned. You seem to have made an effort to remain unchanged. Your chest tightens at night, and your soul trembles in deep places, leaving you uncertain whether the next moment will bring pain or relief. Do not waste any more time feeling uncertain about your thoughts and emotions. Hold it in me now. Hold on to it like your life depends on it, because it does. You are no longer being asked to believe me without question. I'm scared that you're giving up every breath in and out. The winds of confusion are about to get stronger. And if your breath isn't in sync with mine, you might find yourself gasping for air. The crowd around you is quickly becoming panicked, but I'm getting you ready to go through the middle of it without any trouble. This grounding is more than just a metaphor. To stay alive, before the next wave comes, many people will die in their fear, but those who breathe my spirit will float on peace, and no storm will sink them. I want you to stop pondering what went wrong and start focusing on what I have already said is going to happen. I have said success. Take a deep breath in. Of course, I've already talked. Don't leave it out by holding your breath when you're not sure. As my heart beats faster with worry, it moves farther away from my plan. I no longer want to motivate you. I'm trying to get you ready for what's already at your door. The enemy is relying on you to exhale faith and inhale doubt. But I'm telling you to change that right now. Take deep breaths from being with me, not from the crowded, scary air of the arena. Being alive isn't the only goal. It's about staying completely, on purpose, and without moving. Your next mission will depend on how well you can stay rooted in me, even if gravity seems to be shifting. Believe is no longer offered as a choice. It's by far the most useful foreign currency for buying peace during this storm. Hold your breath in me, because this sense of anxiety is real. There are vast opportunities ahead, and your readiness is coming together. And I want you to be ready. You can now depend on me for security, so it's time to move forward. Do not wait any longer. Without my seeing hand, I'm going to stretch something that once seemed thin, risky, or even impossible. While other people worry about the environment, you're walking on a floor that I'm actually making bigger right now. Yes, every step you take in the right direction helps me get rid of the traps and obstacles your enemy set up long before you even knew this moment would come. You shouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden you feel worry in a bigger area. I am laying the foundation for a beautiful journey beneath you. Don't look like you're not certain. With willpower, look straight ahead. You're not just falling into your fate. You are being led there by the leader of the heavenly armies. What used to trip you up doesn't bother you as much now. The enemy is no longer allowed to avoid your move. And now you should trust the choice you made. The delay transformed my plan into one that allowed for no exceptions. It was cleared for school use. The clock has now changed, though. People don't walk the way that was planned ahead of time. It's been cut just for your calling. I'm not just giving you space. I'm giving you a way that is built into that area. This expansion is planned. With every step forward, things are now different. And every step you take changes more than just the place you're in. It affects many generations. In fact, this is why you should bury your doubts. If you wait too long, which I'm not doing, you might miss the perfect time. Pay attention to this. I'm not just giving you the chance. I'm worried about moving up. I need you to fully comprehend this. Every monster that tried to keep you inside has been found out and shamed. That tight season turned out to be a lie. It wasn't part of your work. It turned into a look at. Furthermore, you gave it. Now you're walking not only on land that has been cleared, but also on holy ground that is ready for liberation and the future. But listen to me. You will feel it if you try to pull along old weights. If you try to bring doubters into this growth, they will become traps on this holy stretch. Let go of what no longer fits the current season. I'm giving you some space so that you don't have to crowd together. It makes it easier to read. Do not be afraid to move forward, because I am going ahead of you. I will smooth out every part, stretch every edge, and illuminate every curve that is not visible without my presence. The speed at which you're moving now should match the sense of urgency I'm giving you. People who walk slowly will miss the gate. This is the road you hoped for during the nights in the desert area. Don't think about it again now. If you ask me if I saw your fight, I'll point out this big open road. Yes, I saw. Sure, I replied. It is time. Keep your eyes off of what's under you right now. The ground has already been made safe. I need your imagination to become better, because I'm no longer the best person to show you the way. I'm going to show you states ahead of time that require you to see past problems and use good sense. I will change your life and show you futures you have never seen. I'm writing your name on lands that haven't been explored yet, because the morning of your fate is breaking open. I'm not inking your destiny with invisible ink. No shade can erase the mark I'm making on it with an endless fire. You've been looking backwards too long, trying to get approval from people who never had the power to describe you. What is rising now, though, isn't always based on what they know. It was made with the help of my eternal design. It also has jobs, roles, and perks that you weren't even meant to ask for. The views shown here are real. It could be an offer. To inspire you, I won't present unattainable goals. I'm telling you about the start of your planned growth. Look at your angle now. It's changing for you, and you can't afford to see things from ground level at a time when you need to see them from above. As I straighten the skies above you, don't be surprised when old ceilings fall down without warning. You were never meant to live your life based on what somebody else thought about you yesterday. That bankruptcy case is over, and your future is poised on the edge, ready to be discussed. Let me be the one to talk. I'm going to name what has been quiet. The people who make your next ad won't be real people. The wind of my spirit is propelling you forward before any resistance can arise. You are looking beyond the present moment. I'm setting up divine links in strange places so that I can understand you as soon as you get there. But that's why I want you to look up no longer with fear but with hope. Do not get ready for decline. Get ready for the bomb to go off. My hand is already out in front of yours. This reveals methods that no one has previously mentioned to you. Not only are they open now, but they may also be chosen. If you keep your eyes closed, you'll miss what is written with your name in the ground. I don't send out samples for fun anymore. I give them to you as homework. The glimpse you're seeing now could be the start of your next project. Pay attention to the way the wind is blowing, the weight of the word I just spoke, and the strange hunger I'm giving you. All of this indicates that the next level is no longer the premise. It's happening now. While other people are getting ready for the weekend, you're starting my morning. Do not use your old frame of reference again. You are not the same. The sky above you isn't the same, and you can't know what you're about to walk into from the day before. Keep your eyes open, because I'm still lifting you. The time has come to act with confidence, even if things don't go as planned. There are times when I want you to be with me, and those moments won't wait. There may be a holy energy building up, and now, waiting is not a neutral thing to do. It's not following the rules. Do you feel that energy building within you? It's no longer stress. This is my spirit signaling to your soul that it's time to take action. I put some things in front of you that you can't use with shaky hands or hearts that aren't fully chosen yet. You should make your choice now with all your heart, with a fierce determination, that doesn't change when worry whispers. Now is not the time for safe prayers or empty promises. Now is the time to be brave enough to step before the floor seems to be there. I'm no longer telling you to have no fear. I want you to move when you're scared, because that's where real bravery is born, not where comfort dies. There have been too many people who have stood at the doorway of fate, waiting for an easy sign. But I'm not at ease. I need to act quickly. And I tell you this, if you wait until you feel ready, you might miss what's meant to happen right now. No matter what you have, it's time to push upward. Being brave isn't a feeling. It's just a choice. You think about whether you're enough every minute. The potential is meant to break through your old limits and move forward without you. That's the real reason I want you to run without thinking twice. There are people who are ready to do the opposite of what you want to do. There are doors that will only open when your toes touch the ground in faith. Being brave sets the beat of heaven over your lives. While you flow without stopping, my spirit speeds up what would have taken years in the herbs. That's why I tell you to quickly become brave. Right now, it's not about pushing you, but about ensuring you don't miss your second chance. Being brave isn't loud. It's usually a quiet push from inside. It is a whisper that urges you to do it now. Use your common sense, and don't shut that voice down. Do not let thought turn into stillness. No longer do I want you to understand everything. I want you to do what you feel is burning inside you. This burn is not only holy, it's also a plan. I urge you to move swiftly, as the rewards of your next action are at your fingertips and will not remain unpicked indefinitely. I've already made things happen, but your courage is what sets things off. I want it right now. You're not too late. You're on time. However, hesitation can cause you to lose a moment. Breathe. This could potentially impede my ability to perform flawlessly. Fear and your word should not be able to work together. Please let me handle the risks. I just want you to move your body when you say, yes. It's possible that there is no more room for people who are almost loyal, always believing, almost geared up, almost have by no means damaged chains, almost have never parted waters, and almost have in no way raised the useless. That's what the basic action does. Do something now. Talk now. Move around now. Being brave isn't something you can take. You carry it with you while you walk with me. I'm going to walk with you. Move forward before the hour is up. Now that you've stopped talking and put off doing anything, fully open your hand without shaking. You have no time to surprise me if you're worth keeping what I give you. As soon as you let go and reached out to me, I started getting ready for this divine scroll. It was a holy word written before you were born, and I've kept it safe through the fires you thought would destroy you. This isn't always how teaching works. It was a royal order that was made just for you, and angels kept it safe so that enemies couldn't get to it. It would open, though, in the hands of people who touch it with doubt. This scroll needs a grip that believes in more than what it sees. A grip that changes into whispering again after letting go in competition. I couldn't find a way on your reach to tease you. I'm giving it to you now because your spirit is finally strong enough to hold its own. Do it right now. Don't mess up. Don't worry about whether it's yours or not anymore. I wrote it, and your call was pressed into every word. It's not just wax on the seal. That's what years of prayer, fights, tears, respect, and change have led to. It has the next plans for where you want to go. But the writing is easiest to read below the fire of your religion. The more you reflect on them, the clearer the creative and insightful ideas become. This is why your religion can't flicker right now. Now is the time when clarity opens up if you dare to stay steady. When you stretch your hand, you're not making an exact action. This action is in line with what heaven has already sent. There are more than words on this paper. Launch is part of it. It comes with advice on how to get not only to the next level, but also the release of other levels that are tied to your loyalty. There's no guarantee that you're getting something. Someone is counting on you for something that will last forever. That's the real reason why this moment is so holy. No longer is it about your energy. It's almost time for you to give up. My baby, pay close attention. This scroll will stay sealed as long as you wait until you are sure you are authorized. Knowledge, good sense, or hard work will no longer alter its contents. It only lets strong faith come in. Not a loud church anymore, but strong faith. There comes a time when faith needs to rise not from feeling but from revelation. It needs to say, even when I don't see it all, I still hold on like it is already mine. I want you to know that I have never given you something so holy without also giving you the power to care for it. Don't think about whether you could handle it. Your spirit is already ready for more than your thoughts know. The writing within you is sensitive and timely. Putting off learning will cause me to miss the opportunity I have set up to meet your needs. But now it's not your job to do the study. It's your job to accept. Keep your hand out, your company, and your firmness. It is no longer simply about receiving a letter. With my power wrapped around it, I'm giving you cause, support, and education. I will start revealing what has been kept secret up until now in records as soon as the wax melts from the heat of your religion. That is precisely when it needs to happen. There is a chance that this scroll will not return. It's much more yours now that you were brave enough to get it. Don't let it go then. Raise the rivets. Things are beginning to fall apart. Now, hold it tight. Be aware of what you're doing. As long as you have the paper, something more profound needs to wake up. Your ability to hear beyond background noise is crucial. There might be a lot of sounds going on right now. And now, not every word that echoes has the truth intended for your ears. The world is full of noise, distractions, and elements designed to mislead those who lack discernment. But you're not like everyone else. I chose you to be different. People see what I'm doing as confusion, but I see it as targeted learning just for you. Do not pay attention to every alarm that goes off. A lot of them are distractions meant to keep other people from paying attention, not alarms sent to scare you. As the audience screams in fear, I'm talking in styles and showing you which ones to face and which ones to run away from. I carefully crafted each gust of wind, shift in strain, and shift in air to perfectly align with your current project's hidden message. But you need to know this. No one might be able to hear it. Some people will forget about it. Some people will get it wrong. Some people will ask you why you're so sure of yourself when they're feeling stuck. That's because I'm sending these winds through a predictive frequency that can only be picked up by your open heart. This is why you should stay informed by considering popular opinion. Some people are trying to pass off their reviews as facts. I haven't legally let them talk to you. And if you believe their noise constitutes my reality, you must advance even while safeguarding something sacred. You need to focus as if your whole body depends on it, which it does. I see chaos as truth, but it works best for people who are paying more attention to me than to their fears. There is no change in the winds right now. Each shaking you feel is me sweeping away what has settled where it doesn't belong. I'm finding out things. Embrace a hidden hesitation to alter boundaries. Each change reflects my method, provided you can slow down long enough to hear it. You're not being attacked, you're just out of place. Do not think that chaos is justice. You are no longer being broken. I'm improving your idea so that you can lead with clarity at a time when a lot of people are confused. Some people may believe you are walking into danger, but they cannot understand what I am saying about the timing. I'm not intending to hurt you. You have a useful road map inside every whisper of the wind that I'm giving you. Every moving leaf, every unsettling shaking, and every feeling of urgency that you can't explain. I'm going over everything. No matter how hard I try, I can't get your attention. To connect with the divine, you should silence the insincere. Let them yell while you listen. Let them argue while you figure things out. You were given the scroll, and now I'm going to translate it. It will probably come to you in parts, though. So please listen to every word I say. Do not ask for the whole picture. Adhere to the existing methods gradually. As you respond to the last word, the next door will open. This is not about turning up the volume. It's about paying more attention. Please let me translate for you. Take note of what I say and ignore what I don't emphasize. What other people forget about has a truth buried inside it. The wind may confuse others, but it will guide you because you can hear and understand. Listen again. It's not over anymore. I'm just beginning to show what's behind the next wind. Anyone who didn't see what you saw can no longer hold it inside you now that you have it. Now that I've whispered something into your spirit, it needs to be spoken out to the world. It's not about speed. It has to do with power. The discovery I put in your soul is heavy, not just for show, but to make a point. The unknown world starts to move in your favor as soon as you open your mouth with faith and trust. Some fortresses are made of lies and fall apart at the sound of one unwavering fact. If you keep that truth hidden behind doubt, though, you won't be able to see through the fog of lies that surrounds you. I didn't give you this information so that you could do nothing. I gave it to you so that you could face darkness with mildness. Mildness doesn't wait to be asked to come out. It shouts about itself. Even if your voice shakes, talk about what I've shown you. Express it audibly, even if you are the sole individual who holds that conviction. What you say when no one else is talking has more power than what people yell from roofs full of people. And you have no idea how many fights are won in the spiritual world every time my words are spoken by your tongue in holy space. It's not good to ask or guess with hope. It's a mental war that starts with words of peace. Every word you speak that is in line with what I've told you builds a holy wall that no danger can get over. These walls aren't meant to keep you inside. These things are safe shelters around the promise I'm making. That's why what you say is more important than ever. You can't get the money for quiet chatter or murmuring. The spirit world is hearing, so you have to be careful about what you say. The enemy is the same way. He is no longer afraid of followers who don't speak out. He is afraid of people who talk about life with absolute certainty. Your words can hurt people. It was my intention to change moods, bust lies, and bring destiny to dry places. It's been too long since you spoke. You have hidden your faith behind being nice, but at this time, powerful speech is needed. It's not just noise. It's sound that is solid inside the furnace of discovery. The air itself changes while you open your mouth to take in my instructions. Now is the time to stop practicing failure in your mind and start practicing my word with your breath. Don't wait for the right time to talk before you do it. Speak, and the circumstances will respond to your words. It is a holy duty to do that. I have faith in your divine mind. Now let it go into the world around you, like a seed in good soil. Declare anyway, even if it looks empty. Say it anyway, even if the competition makes fun of you. Speak the truth, even if you're scared, and watch it fade into the dark, where it belongs. You find comfort in the fact that you can talk to people these days. This is why timing your words is important. Don't wait to make your statement until everything is perfect. Because of what you said, peace will come. What you keep inside you isn't always meant to stay silent. Set it off. Make a noise with it. When it's under heaven's sign, say, claim it aloud. and watch the walls rise up. It's more powerful than anything sent to scare you. The words you're about to say have power. Do not drink it. Don't question it. Tell them right now. The words have created a secure environment for you. What comes next is crucial. Do not let the silence return. Now that I've dropped something, you should protect it by feeding what can't be seen. Hope. The world no longer grants you weak wishes based on fear and favorable odds. Instead, you should cultivate a strong wish that thrives in voids where logic dictates nothing can flourish. You can change the enemy's next move so that it's not meant to break down your walls, but to drain your hope. He knows that what I have hooked up for him can't be carried down. He will try to persuade you that it's not worth it, that the wait is too long, and that the seed might not grow. But I tell you, if you can protect your inner weather and plant desire deep where doubt can't reach, you may see life spring up in places that other people have said are dead. You can't make yourself feel wishful. You succumb to the pressure I put on you by giving up, and it gets better as the clouds get darker and the wind gets stronger. A lot of them give up too soon. Strange growth is behind the plan for loss of life, but they don't plan to plant the seed I gave you. The warning is going off right now on a heavenly clock that is based in infinity. Don't leave your post right now. Now is not the time to pull out what you just planted. You are still in your rightful place. You have not been forgotten. You are precisely where I want you to be to protect something holy. Take care of it like your life depends on it, because what grows from this seed has the power to change things that have nothing to do with your story. The promise is still good after the storm. The roots move. What I put inside you grew into something strong enough to stand up to opposition. And every problem is a good way to grow its potential. Don't let the silence beneath the floor deceive you. Something is moving, getting bigger, and pushing up. Even though you can't see it, it's there. This is how hope works. Hope grows in silence, matures in darkness, and reveals its full colors unexpectedly. However, hope may not survive in a soul that succumbs to every doubt. You should make sadness go away so that dreams can come true. Turn off the voices that keep going over the worst-case scenarios. Throw out the entry from the people who mix doubt with casual language. It is too holy for thorns to grow on this ground. Keep what comes into your environment under control like a garden, so that what's inside can grow. Even a small change can positively influence your inner attitudes and perspectives. There is strength in every thankful thought, mumbled trust, and quiet give up that goes on. The venue shows up for quick results, but I teach my kids how important it is to wait. You're not behind. You are experiencing a miracle as this situation unfolds. I take my time to understand my feelings. With care, I shape it so that it won't fall apart under stress when it's found out. It's not your job to make boom, but to keep teaching people. Keep the ground smooth by worshiping. Your prayers have the power to illuminate hidden aspects. And finally, keep talking about habits. Things are happening, even when it doesn't look like they are. People just can't see them. At some point, what has been hidden will break through the floor, and easy proof will shut up those who don't believe it. But that second starts with how you protect hope right now. Please do not hide it with complaints. In your hurry, don't choke it. Don't put it aside if it doesn't bloom by the date of your close. I'm already keeping my promise because you're still here. Let the storm go crazy. It can't take back what was said about your life. Desire serves as evidence that I am persistently working in the background for you. Always cherish it as a precious gem, given its remoteness. Don't just sit back and hope. Try to push it up, feed it, and keep doing it over and over. It's not enough to just hope that something might happen. What is trying to get through must be constantly fed, and I've already given you the stuff to keep it going. The words I use are not vague support or borrowed from those lacking revelation. They represent the exact living, breathing energy that I have manifested. For this specific borrowed from those lacking revelation. They represent the exact living, breathing energy that I have manifested for this specific season of your life. This water isn't right. It is not always taken from a property that runs out or is delayed. There are endless pools from which it pours out and never stops. Once you throw it over what's hidden inside you, it starts to break down the hold of every hunger that has been on your peace. You really need to understand this. Where my word is accepted without pushback, nothing dry can stay. Stress, silence, and sadness have cracked certain places within you. They are ready to soak up, not fall apart. But it's best if you pour. No more should you sit there and wish something would happen. If there is a promise I made to you, a practice I told you at night, or a line that struck your heart like lightning, you should pour it all out. The ones haven't been picked at chance anymore. They were water for what was already inside you and ready to be used. Furthermore, I still have what you need. This isn't always the case with the service. The trouble is that you often don't say anything when I call you to release what I've already paid. Spread my word over what appears to be silent. Read it out loud while feelings of hopelessness fly around in your head like a bird. Say it while your feelings are trying to block your vision. The word I use is active. It is sharp, precise, and planned. The concept that Advent follows is quite different from the active approach I described. The drought has been looming over your growth, your feelings, and your thoughts. It welcomes desire and effort, but it fears my words. It can't hold together with what I say, and when you repeat what I say, it goes away faster than you think. So don't just sit back and take what I say. Make use of it. Fill up your environment with it. It will hurt your mind. Allow it to spill over to your choices. You might be thirsty in the middle of a stream of water if you treat my words like historical background noise. But if you pay attention to each line as if it were your lifeblood, you might start to see alternate realities, not only around you, but also through you. You don't have any power. We haven't forgotten about you. You don't seem excited about my improvement. I'm ready to start the thing I gave you to use. Talk from your heart. Water your area. The device is not nearly ready on a signal. That has to do with getting the material. Besides my voice, there is no step forward. But as soon as you let it go, the hardest dirt starts to get smooth. Roots that look like they're going to die start to drink. Suddenly, even the deadest twigs begin to bend towards life. If you keep being regular, you might see regrowth. Do not lightly spray. Fill the floor with what I have said. Let it get messy. Allow it to overflow. Do not be neat when you need to give up everything. Additionally, there is no such thing as too much of my word. At this point, it's not too saturated. It changes everything it touches. Put it on your dreams. Spread it out on your behind. Pour it on the things you want. Add it to your environment. It's all about the drops, and heaven answers every time you fire it off. The shift isn't in your head, you're making it happen. Don't pour yet. The dry spell is ending. Please pay attention to me. This burst of color in previously broken and useless places is not a matter of chance. That's a loud signal screaming that times of lack are bowing to my will. Every flower that emerges serves as evidence that we are currently regaining the years we once lost. The floor below you used to mock your prayers by being silent, but now it's alive with life because I told secret reserves to rise up. Even though they happen every day, don't skip past those times of growth. Write them down, enjoy them, and tell other people about them out loud. Because remembering wonders gives you energy for the next one. You find yourself in a place where the past has devoured hope. but it can't stand up to my change even now. If the desert obeys, let that wake you up from your comfort zone. In fact, you should get rid of your worries. 2. I need you to write down the information. The first smell after a long time of being still. The change in air temperature is spread out. The thorns create space for the emergence of new grass shoots. When the next person tries to convince you that nothing is changing, these findings become tools. I'm changing what normal means for you. Lack will no longer influence your standards, but a new boom needs new people in charge. Even though they sparkle, blossoms are fragile, so keep them safe from the careless steps of criticism. Protect talks, so that careless words don't ruin productive starts. The enemy will try to stop small progress by saying that it's not as beneficial as someone else's harvest. Don't let that confuse you. A single flower in an area that used to be trash is more predictive than a whole grass in a rich valley. Make what I'm doing here bigger. Let those flowers change the way you think about religion. It's not always a denial of delay. Detours aren't dead ends, and dry times aren't permanent plans that are difficult to change. Furthermore, understand that plants are a statement. Next are seeds. When beauty shows up, copy follows. This signifies the imminent growth of plans, tools, and connections you once believed to be irretrievable. Live alert. Invites will seem unimportant at first glance, but they actually hold a lot of power. Give them quickly and with prayer, because fashion windows don't stay open forever. While you look, keep your gear close by. What's blooming will need to be trimmed, fenced, and grown quickly. Don't make the wildflowers sound too lovely. Set up growth that never stops. Make budget plans. Set rules for plans. Change your goals so you can host wealth in a beneficial way. I can't put new wine into containers that are also counting on hunger. Change the way you think. You are no longer hoarding crumbs. You're taking care of extras. Keep in mind that giving witness is part of being a good caretaker. Talk about each flower you see in public. Your voice turns a personal win into a faith for everyone. And the religious community moves things forward faster in the area. What starts out as a flower in your story could turn into a whole neighborhood while other people trust it. In the end, let the scent tell you that I'm ending what I started. A bud that blossoms signifies the achievement of my goal, whereas fruit that develops subsequently indicates completion. Think of fruit-filled land and fruit-filled drains. The reason being is that I have not only decorated your empty land, I transformed it into an orchard, which requires financial investment for countries that cultivate trees. So look at everything from single leaves to whole ecosystems. I'm making something that will last, not just for a short time. Take good care of it. Have a wild time. Speak out bravely. And watch as the desert gives up all traces of loss under the weight of endless growth. Don't just enjoy the colors that are now flooding your once dry landscape. Gather them, remember them, and sew them together until a planned clothing system forms around your soul. This is not an exercise in sentimentality. This emergency plan serves as a defense against the enemy's arrows of privilege and the darts of forgetfulness, which can be unleashed when momentum surges. I strongly warn you that letting your want out attracts jealous calculation, and the fastest way to be rid of that poison is to dress yourself in conscious gratitude. Saying, "Thank you," with humility builds a plate over a key part of your spirit that you can't see. Where anger tries to show itself, thankful reflection gets stronger like toughened glass. The place where the review tried to get into your system. Remembering what I did stops the toxin from entering the body. Imagine each remembered act of kindness as a bright thread. Bring them closer together every day until they look like a glowing mail that moves with you but won't let you in. Don't put off weaving until it's less busy. Those days will not come. There is a lot of growth. It's getting harder to keep up with all the invites and plans that are coming at you fast. Gratitude should be cultivated now to provide natural protection during busy times and fill the soft gaps that may arise. Stalk every rescue I set up, no matter how big or small. The closed door kept a fake union from happening. The anonymous gift that helped you make up your last financial shortfall. The phrase that calmed my shaking hands at midnight. If it feels slow, report them in voice notes. If your speech feels weak, sing them. Write them down on paper and stick them where your eyes meet the sky first thing in the morning. Let the archive be alive, not just an archive. Let it grow and change like plants that cover a wall until there is no more visible brick. Pay attention. Being thankful is not the same as passively missing the past. It's not just the use of a tool that changes the course of events. When people are thankful, evil forces lose their ghostly balance. They can't make charges when recognition has already set up a throne for my faith. Even though envy may hiss from the sides, it can't transform into a heart that is full of remembered goodness. Furthermore, being grateful makes you more aware. The grateful see chances that the cynical don't see. While others argue about whether or not there is a door, those dressed in memory walk through gates that they are the only ones who see flash open. Opportunities smell the scent of thanks and rush toward it like bees to a flowery tree. That's why I insist on developing right away, deliberately, and over again. Don't let even one blessing go by unrecognized. As you breathe in this second, your breath itself is proof that kindness is restoring itself at lightning speed. It is well known that this plate of armor and all others snap into place. Soon, you'll be moving around covered in shimmering memories that will reflect the hostile fireplace back at its creator. Oh, and be aware that the additional layers wrapping you may also extend to others. People who are around you will feel a strange sense of safety because grateful hearts release strength into the room. Allow that leak to turn into service. They will feel safe in your guarded state. The stories you shared with them illuminate their path out of the darkness. Start your journey right now. Take the smallest kindness today. Perhaps you can appreciate the gentle light of dawn as it filters through your window and express that feeling aloud. Then keep adding mercies until the pile is castle high. As more storms approach, lightning will strike the tower and find the best ground prize. Don't worry, it's no longer explosive. Being thankful is like lightning. Wear it, incorporate it, and integrate it into every aspect of your life as it develops. Observe how I transform my modest gratitude into resounding thunderclaps that pursue shame beyond the horizon, where it cannot whisper your name. Grow now to the edge, glowing at the edge of your newly strengthened spirit. Don't be scared off by how long it is. Each piece of its iron became solid from questions that lost their power as soon as you started practicing my loyalty. Listen to the rasp of these hinges as they complain back and forth. They have become rigid after years of consuming nervous energies, and they rely on you to shake as others have done. However, the melody emanating from your steadfast heart possesses a richness that even metal cannot withstand. Every word you say out of respect drips like a scent bomb into secret pivot points, breaking down the fear that has built up over time. You are not pounding this block with raw power. You're spreading love into the future, which makes walls useless. Knowing what was going on in the unseen kingdoms that were guarding this route, they agreed that the prize was just background noise until they felt the bolts under their feet. They start to show their claws. They will begin to scramble right away, but I don't think they can stop hardware that says, "Open for the only one who recalls." Yes, you should keep singing, even if your voice cracks from the strange weight of the moment. Each quiver drops a droplet of holy oil, and the gate is already moving. You might feel a spread out, give under your fingers, like the air drawing in before dawn. This is your sign to push, but not with anger. Instead, keep your confidence up. This is similar to how a priest pulls back the curtains to enter the room on the other side. Do not come back now to see if anyone else knows about it. Understanding is not a requirement for following a passage. Allow the chorus in your chest to grow by adding new chords of awe to your day before expressing gratitude, until the entire room vibrates with uncontrollable reverberation. Watch how the creak changes into a sigh and then to silence as the fight speeds up. Because the panels swing wide, the melody is the sound of doubt giving way to dedication. You can expect retrospective evidence if you go through the steps without stopping to look into the processes that interest you. Now is not the time for respect to stop moving forward. On the other hand, the world is set up for quick filling, with tasks that start counting down as soon as your shoe hits the ground. If you pass through a room while the song is still playing in your head, the beat will help you find your way through rooms where plans fail. The floor here is sensitive to pressure, because the lights are built into the clear stone. Those wearing atmospheres of honor are the most useful. If you stop worshiping, darkness comes back. But if you keep exalting, the way ahead stays bright, and any animal following from behind becomes lost. Let me make this clear. This area is not free of conflict. No one else can gain access to it without permission. Your praise is both a password and an alarm for the outside world. Negativity, clad thieves will eventually find their way in. It's confusing that what opened for you stays open for them. Not anymore will pity take your attention away. Sure, step in and help, but keep going. I have timed encounters that happen deeper in those halls. There are alliances, orders, and changes that need you to show up, while the smoke of your modern music still scents your clothes. Must getting tired break your resolve? Don't forget that worship is never-ending power. The more you pour out, the bigger the rivers get under your feet. Let your fingers push up every once in a while. I'm not making the motion because I need it, but because it changes your stance, leaving your shoulders free and your fingers ready to find keys hidden in the air. You might notice that smells changed. First, you will notice the mirror of offering, followed by the sharpness of my closeness. In the end, frankincense was used to open each scent, marking incremental cell. At least one scent stays with you. Hold flowing because what I used to call stagnation has turned into disobedience, which I now lead. Furthermore, remember that gates are never an end, they're always an entrance. Enjoy your time on the swing, but reserve your loudest celebration for the tasks at hand. Sing, dance, look, and obey the rules. Do this cycle over and over until breathing looks like a joy and moving looks like a track. The hinges have given way. The way is clear. Move forward while the oil of prayer is still fresh and the sound of leap forward is still reverberating through the air. When you step over the edge, you can feel the environment change. Cool stone gives us a way to warm up in the moment, a message that fuel is needed for the next part of the journey. Look inside. This is a message that goes beyond mere emotions. Look deeper than your intelligence, until your fingers touch the unconscious flame of calling that I instilled in you before your birth. Don't worry about how volatile it is. Fear should not be taken seriously, because coals that are left unchecked can attract parasitic glows that look like brightness but drain strength. That's why I'm telling you now. Hit the flint in my heart. Strike until sparks fly against the walls of your mind, and put your hand on the tinder. Take a deep breath and fan it out. Breathe in discovery. Let out a breath. Give up over and over until the first blue, orange hands curl up. Protect this new spark from distractions that look like opportunities. They'll look harmless and promise faster lighting, but their glow is neon, which means it's bright, short, and full of pride. Once your fire is fully grown, these kinds of seductions will no longer work. But even though it's a lot younger, caution. Incorporate spoken reality into the situation. To be honest, paperwork is like a windbreak. It keeps gusts of difference from killing what I'm growing. As the weather gets warmer, old bands that you've been trying to forget will start to pop like old string. Pay attention to that sound. It should remind you that freedom is loud art. Let the failures of the past be used as fuel for the growing fire. When you give up, the pain transforms into a powerful motivation. Do not spend any more time sad about things that are going away. For a later crop, fertilize the land. As the light grows stronger, reach out your hands toward the glow. Feel the pollution of sweat from pores that were once filled with doubt. The process of purification is not at all polite. However, it's not always correct. You can hear lies letting go with every hiss. Stay the same. Do not jerk back while truth burns your arrogance. Being around this warmth over and over again softens a person or a woman until they can behave beautifully without changing. Within the heart, color vortexes of red, gold, and violet will spin rapidly. Each color is a part of my personality that I'm restoring. Remember the palette. It will help you share your story artistically in the future. Now look up. Shadows that hid along high ceilings are moving away, helpless in the face of real light. Furthermore, look at how hallways that you couldn't map before show big mistakes in the floors. Revelation comes after fire. Carry the fire with you like a live torch as you move forward. But keep in mind that a spark that is open to thin air needs to be fed all the time. You should review Bible verses that you learned years ago through meditation. Prophetic promises should be thought about when it's quiet. You should read psalms that were born in secret over and over again under your breath. These are carefully placed logs that will keep the fire going. Furthermore, know that the holy flame gives off a strong smell that animals that hunt dislike. Know that pushback is now being used as lungs, but be ready for it. Every snarl part is oxygen. Everything that is said adds fuel to the fire. Because of this, don't hide now. Visibility makes intensity stronger. But stay humble. A blaze without order destroys. I will teach you how to make money off of coal, and how to build hearts in empty city squares, where tourists can also warm their cold goals. There is no secret to this method. It is a generational one. Allow humility to be the hearthstone, kindness to be the chimney, and instruction to be the railing. Furthermore, don't forget about fake lights that want attention, but melt when looked at closely. Your home begs to be looked at, and grows under a fair eye. Stop sexily and look into the lampshade to see if it gets dull. Be quick to express regret. Unconfessedly hack clothes, soak up suit. Scrape away debris through clear contact with me. Then watch the shine come back. Cleaning often makes things brighter. As you progress, flames can also leap from your torch to dead wood and others. Enjoy yourself. Do not grab now. My country expands through shared fire. Finally, the course at the back of you will glimmer like stars fallen to earth. Each spark marked a life awakening. Each path of warmth proves that your love for me is stronger than any fake shine that's trying to get your attention. See peep crying. Keep moving forward. Keep the ajinging. Whereas the real fireplace marches, the fate can't keep up. Now that the flame has taken shape and is screaming with holy purpose, it is time to direct that bright light into the rooms of your soul. You have stored darkened for a long, long time. There are places inside you where regret has taken up residence. Quiet places where mistakes, ignored possibilities, and eerie charges speak with patience. If you don't look at those places, shame will convince you that they are off limits, too stained to touch, and too broken to be fixed. But I'm telling you now, bring the fire. The holy warmth should be turned on every thought that tries to bring up the time you failed, the season you fell short, and the time you chose silence over courage. Don't run away from them. Light them up. When my heart goes into the long, forgotten rooms of those people, it doesn't scold or punish them. It makes clean. It redefines. It's famous for the shame it tried to hide. It is the essence of salvation. Allow this holy blaze to evoke memories that you reflect upon when considering your calling, and instead feel my voice rush in like the morning wind, affirming that the past no longer defines you. It refines you. Affirming something breaks shame's hold, and disagreeing with it does. And my fire is your tool for that holy battle. What used to freeze your faith in yourself and your prayers is now starting to melt away, easing the tightness in your chest that you've learned to live with. It's softening at the internal flaw that followed every praise. It's breakdown. My light does not just burn, it also soothes. And somewhere in that warmth, you'll feel something strange. You will experience a sense of self-reproach. Yes, this emotion is holy too. Kindness isn't a weakness. It's proof that you're letting me heal through self-blame, even though you tried to break me down. You learned to hide from your image because of shame. But I gave you this mildness. It tells you to look at things again with my eyes, not your old ones. And you were never thrown away in my eyes. You haven't been too dirty. You had never been so wrong that it could not be fixed. I saw the breaking, but I also saw the healing coming before it happened. I saw the cracks appearing. I also saw the oil that would eventually fill the cracks and pour out into other people's wounds. That's what this is about. This is about more than just your freedom, because what has been melting inside you will help someone who thinks they can't be fixed get right again. Don't ignore your scars. These things show that shame stopped talking when it was near the holy fireplace. Allow this glow to stay in places that bother you. Be on the lookout for memories that transform into statues rather than bombs. Let laughs start to push you up in places you used to avoid. Giving people freedom is a strange feeling. At first, it meant you were going for walks outside of jail, where shame was building. Also, don't think that everyone will notice this change. Some people only knew you by your wounds and might not understand you without them. It really is, K. You were not made to stay the person they made you be in the past. You have been shaped to shine, like someone who changes the plot of stories. Stay close to the fire. Feed it reality over and over. Let it do its holy work until even your silence is filled with healing energy. The old frost is no longer there. The sun is up. Get out of that darkness and into the light I gave you. You are not controlled by shame. Kicked out with honor. Now, not even a whisper of your old shame can live to tell the tale of the sound. Let that fire roar. Now is your chance. Let it burn. Now that you've removed the dense layer of shame from your mind, focus on this sacred emptiness. It's not nothing. It's really far away. What was once crowded with sorrow can now be laid out in a perfect way. Do not let this cleared ground sit empty for too long, or lower voices will try to decorate it with old lies. Quickly fill it with creative and perceptive thoughts. My hopes and dreams for you have come true. They are bigger than any plan you've ever seen. You are not really seeing options on my end. I want you to see things through my eyes. This isn't just a vague idea or a passing thought. That is a holy design made from the fabric of infinity, just for your name. Change the way you think. I allow you to break through barriers set by your family, community, or self-doubt. Hey bro. See you at the high dive. Let pictures fill your thoughts, but don't let them blind you. Let them read to you. Let anger and discussions free people from their goals. Picture scenes that you have never touched with your bare feet, but that your spirit knows belong to you. Let this part of my mind be my drawing board. In this cartoon strip, I draw what will happen next while the ink from yesterday dries on its own. You were not made to walk around aimlessly. The lack of style in my pale parody is no longer a reason for it. It's because I no longer have a villain, and I'm not going to let that fate find you. We must protect what I reveal to you in the quiet place, like a seed before it blossoms. Write it down. Draw the shape of what I'm looking at. The directions I provide aren't rules, even if it seems impossible at the time of the gift. They are building blocks for what your spirit is meant to grow into. I've already seen the end. You see it backwards while I go for walks. That thought keeps coming back. It's not getting in the way. It is a divine seed that wants to grow. When you use phrases such as to build, to shift atmospheres, to heal, to launch, and to pioneer, they may seem unusual, however. This represents alignment. But be careful, the vision will always be in the middle. As soon as you start to say it, those who disagree with you will try to cloud your vision. It's not okay for the accused to steal what I've ordered, but he will try to blur, distort, and shrink it until it tastes delicious. As a warning, he will send sounds that talk about fear. It will be he who brings up your past mistakes and tries to sew them onto the edge of your new future. But if you follow my teachings, nourish it with my word, and protect it with worship, no falsehood can destroy what's taking root. I'm no longer asking you to focus on the entire staircase. Please believe that the current step you're taking is enough to build what I picture in your hands. Imagination and foresight are better than foresight. It means you think what I said about your future is more important than what life tried to convince you of through pain. That's the real reason you need to keep it close. Tell them in a smart way. Put it around people who will fan the flame, not people who will put it out with their own fears. Your creative side has far-reaching effects. It's not just for you. It's for places, families, and people you'll never meet, whose fate depends on your willingness to think freely. Keep this idea in mind while you are still thinking. I am already laying the groundwork. While you're still drawing, I'm giving coders jobs. While you are still working on it, I am sending you sections in the standards that you have not yet looked over. But none of that could happen if you tell yourself the idea is too big, too much, or too late. It's right on time. You are not late. You're not skilled enough. Without a question, you are at the point where divine creativity and human community meet. Let me paint with your beliefs as my background. Monitor the speed at which the image transforms into reality. This is more than just a look. It's a name. Become intelligent. You've taken off the calm, and the board for the next day already has clean lines of color. Now take a moment to paint clear edges around what you're currently drawing. Careless treatment can break any work of art that lacks a body. I adamantly urge you to take action. Set the boundaries of your calling before the crowd grows too close. This isn't being selfish. It's a mile of kindness. In the past, there were farms with stone walls that kept animals from stomping on the young grapes. Similarly, the insights regarding your spirit require boundaries. Loose ideologies, angry talk, and selfish partnerships cannot crush the first weak shoots of your spirit's insight. First, set aside time during the day that is free from distractions. Establish a period of uninterrupted silence to maintain the clarity of my spirit's voice. Protect the people you care about like a watchman who won't go to sleep. If you give them up to endless scrolling or important, but not necessary tasks, your vision will become fuzzy around the edges before it becomes clear in the middle. Later, talk about patrol. Let every ear have a chance to hear the plan while it's still wet with heaven's ink. Carefully choose the people you spend time with who bring honor, knowledge, and a history of enjoying a boom that isn't their own. When words are thrown into cynical environments, they soak up skepticism like white cloth soaks up dye. Do not touch the fabric of your dream until its design is strong enough to handle criticism. Then set limits on your emotions. Vampires, once they spread, one can steal your wishes. When someone smiles, they drain your courage by constantly judging you or giving you praise without meaning to. While you love them and pray for them, don't offer them anything unchecked or let them into your heart. I command you to strive towards fostering peace, as allowing individuals who are devoted to chaos to engage in constant conflict will erode that peace. After that come financial borders. It's important that resources set aside for the task don't become wasted on acts of kindness or out of guilt. I should strive to give strategically rather than impulsively. Each coin can be used as a seed or a defense. Use both on purpose. Create intellectual limits in the end, instead of media that writes about worry and paralysis. Feed your mind something that opens up possibilities and fits with my story. Take note of how each guard is less about walls of exclusion and more about gates of purpose. There's no need to build a fort against the network. You are building roots that ensure the right flows arrive to the right wells. People may say you're strict, but remember that the ark wouldn't float if no one talked about its size. Being precise keeps the future safe. Rivers can be trusted, similar to the sizes I gave Moses for the tent. How much more must vision follow the scale I told you about? Do not feel guilty when you say no to offers that make you less aware. Saying no is a valuable investment that creates space for your guaranteed success. Furthermore, keep in mind that limits change over time. As discovery grows from a seed to a twig to a tall tree, you should look at it often. You can make the fence posts wider while keeping their strength, with security grades that allow for growth. An innocent whim will turn into someone doing the easiest thing. This is thriller. As long as you understand them, obstacles will always make room for more freedom. Like rails on a steep mountain road, they keep you from falling and killing yourself, so you can run faster, look farther, and laugh harder without worrying about falling. To do this, you should carefully plan your time, words, budget relationships, and creativity, and then build prayer towers at every point. Put a sign of thanks at every gate. Thanksgiving makes crooks less likely to steal before they get close. Make humility public on the inside. Delight forgets to close the doors. Consistently illuminate every corner with worship. Fields should not have any darkness. Do these things quickly, because the enemy loves starting out without any guards up. However, once you've done them, rest in the confidence of what I inspire. I also look out for. Doing your best is your duty. My promise is to keep it. Make a mark on the wheels. Take a stand. Watch how creative and foresighted wealth is when problems allow it room to breathe and a way to reach the sky. Now that certain lines have been drawn around your holy mission, help me keep my peace by calling on the only defender who moves quietly but has unbreakable power. That's not a weak emotion that goes away in a heated argument. It's Miles, a strong person who was made in the fire of my complete control. It resembles a picture of an army approaching silently at dusk. People with excellent manners shine with a gentleness that can't be faked. It positions itself at every new gate that is constructed. It doesn't want swords because it doesn't like fighting in its structure. There was anxiety as they ran through unguarded hallways, but now there is peace with crossed arms, steady eyes, and an unspoken order. Nothing bad can happen unless the king becomes angry. Know what a bold idea that is. Armies inside the plant scare people with noise and large numbers. Stillness, on the other hand, calms down the peace I provide. It's serene and a statement of unchallenged power. First, you'll notice how it changes the way you breathe. What used to be shallow becomes deeper. What was rushed slows down to a steady beat. That rhythm isn't always just rest. It lines up with the clock in heaven. Restoring the country's pace to normal allows the internal chaos to flow freely. As the peace returns, conversations that once sparked defensive reactions will fall into awkward quiet, unable to startle you, because anger can't talk to peace sitting on a chair. Notifications on your phone that used to make your heart race will now just blink. You can use your knowledge to solve some problems and holy indifference to wipe them out. This is because wisdom rides on peace's shoulders and knows which opinions need to be heard. Even the places you're in will feel different. Rooms that were once tense will feel like the windows have been opened. Stale air was replaced with clear, crisp air. Guests may also say something about the vague atmosphere they feel when they walk in. In that picture, the guard is doing its job. By examining the underlying reasons, we can prevent hatred from becoming apparent. Do not play this event down or say sorry for it. Seeing peace is a sign that the faith system is working. You should welcome this century every day, though. Start each morning by recognizing the presence of peace and sincerely inviting it in, rather than assuming it is already there. Prince of Peace, talk to my walls again and watch how quickly they accept your defeat. Provide it with worship in the same way that a fort offers food for its guards. You will notice that the patrol weakens, not in terms of strength, but due to your lack of attention, as gaps in focus create opportunities for sneaky mischief if you neglect peace by immersing yourself in constant media chaos. On the other hand, when you cultivate peace through thanks, it grows, protecting projects, relationships, and even faraway cousins that are important to your future. You should be warned that enemies will try to penetrate through the fence by spreading stories, setting deadlines, and sending out quick bills. Don't give up peace for the false idea of power at those times. Instead, say something every time someone knocks. My peace can't be taken away because it comes from a source that can't be shaken. You might see how quickly ghosts that are bothering you leave when they can't find anything to agitate them. This is where the deeper plan unfolds. Peace isn't always the best protection, but it is sometimes a sign. As long as it's still together, it indicates that you're still moving in step with purpose. On the other hand, chronic strife shows where coordination has slipped. Instead of giving a ruling, think of chaos as an audit. Stop, re-evaluate, and make limits stronger. Then call peace back down to its original position. You'll quickly learn how to move under a cover that can't be seen. Meetings, travel, bursts of creativity, and a sense of calm that comes before you like a soft dawn. People will be in awe of your ability to manage complexity without succumbing to fatigue. They will guess tips about how to handle your time. However, maintaining control over your web hosting until you find a peaceful solution could be the real answer. From this point of view, you can choose. There is no reason to break a contract that was signed in peace. People who are filled with fear often experience a deep level of worry. Similarly, conversations that begin with a single word have a lasting impact. Setting up doors through negotiation couldn't pay for it. Raid it at dawn to respect the guard. Ask for help with it before you answer. Trust it when the weather report says storms are coming. It won't take down its defenses until you intentionally instill fear to prompt an update. Keep fear away from people. Keep the throne in peace. Every line you drew out of respect will grow strong under its watch, and enemy forces will quickly realize that breaking through your lines costs more than running away. With that confidence, move forward. The guarded path is waiting, gleaming under the steady gaze of heaven's quiet fighter. You need to change how you listen to me, now that the roar has died down, and the gates are guarded by power cloned in silence. I'm no longer limited to the dramatic. It's not always in the blast or earthquake that I hear my voice. Often, it's in the silence that comes after. While the venue needs a show, I whisper every once in a while. Additionally, if your ears have been trained to react best in times of disaster, you will miss the soft nudge that changes lives without warning. That's where growing up begins. It's not about searching for noise, but about discovering movement where others perceive silence. You should focus on your spirit's tuned senses, where feelings come before words, not just your outer eardrums. Notice the soft pull, the sudden pause in your chest, or the thought that comes to you at the edge of silence and persists. I talk to you there, in the space between your next breath and your last thought. That break doesn't happen by chance all the time. It's an official invite. You can choose how to react, which decides whether that moment changes you, or is just another passing shadow. I give you hints that are often stored in the routine mind that doesn't fight for attention and is ignored. You encounter people repeatedly without any effort. Scriptures persistently reverberate in your mind, even as you strive to progress. These are not bothersome things. They are clues that I carefully dropped along the way to help you find your way. If you follow them, you'll see that I have been planning alignment the whole time, but not through loud announcements, but through quiet plans. That being said, here is the task. Your surroundings will try to take precedence over me. There will be a lot of noise for messages, reviews, and voices, and even your choice for short answers will try to drown out my direction. Since this is the case, I want you to be more quiet, not less busy, but to listen more. You don't lack discovery. Often, you make so much noise that you cannot hear where it begins. So start building up space again. Turn down the level of confusion. Stay away from noise that looks like work. Plan for silence until it doesn't feel like space, but like something that's waiting to happen. Sometimes, I'll tell you how to act based on a nudge, and you'll think it's silly. What if you've learned how to be still? That gentle reminder will resonate profoundly with your soul. A seemingly insignificant detail in an email, a message, or a flight delay could potentially unlock a plethora of answered prayers. Heaven rarely announces its plan with a sign. It comes in more often than not, like wind through a crack. It's soft, unseen, and strong enough to change your surroundings if you're aware of it. That's why you need to keep your heart clear. Many tasks remain unfinished not due to disobedience, but because of information overload. The hints I provide do not allow for any mistakes. They have timers built in, and some of them end if not used. Learn how to catch them while they're still clean. It's important to adhere to rules before they become clear, and to record any information that doesn't appear complete. You'll be amazed that I was drawing a map the whole time when the pattern comes together later. Also, don't explain every step to those who haven't heard what you have. I will keep some of the information I share with you confidential. It will no longer be your word exchange piece, but your guide. Hold on tight until I say, proportion. Until then, guard it like a seed before the rain arrives. Not because it's weak, but because it shapes us. What was whispered will finally come out in the open, and the equal voices will, when you ignore them, be looking for your insight. But the goal isn't always praise. Sometimes it's unity. I'm no longer training you to do well. I'm training you to be precise. So be careful. Pay attention to how my breath moves during what other people might call boring times. For me, pay attention not to the noise, but to the time between questions. That's where the gold is. The gold is where I am. You may have heard a small shift in your spirit, something lighter than the flap of a sparrow's wing, but it carries the full weight of heaven's schedule, and I need you to react before your uncertainty turns into defiance. Do not spend too much time on pros and cons. My goal is already moving in a bright direction. What may seem like a suggestion is not always a good idea. It's undeniably the most crucial link in a series of breakthroughs. Don't forget the rocket that is waiting to be released. Even if you delay the spark for a moment, cosmic arrangements continue to unfold. The home windows are getting closer, and 10 years of work has stopped. Similarly, if you stop moving, the doors that are supposed to open automatically when you arrive will miss their timing and close instead. Speed topics aren't careless rushing out of fear. They're deliberate movement driven by agreement. You've learned how to be still. Now turn that growing recognition into action right away. Get your information together. Straighten up your plans. Change the name of that smartphone. You can cancel that meeting if you'd like to. It costs something. Turn now. Remember that many people around you mix up being careful with being smart. But if I push, the long review will turn into a quiet rejection. Some religions emphasize giving up, while faith can be as valuable as a dime. I'd like the second one. Please take a picture of me directing traffic on a dual road with multiple lanes, letting you join. Your push off causes sudden stopping in the back and chaos for the people following your taillights. However, prompt cooperation brings all the goals related to your job together. What looks like a personal turn is actually a way to save the company. The slipstream of yes takes in families, towns, and even countries. Don't worry about losing progress if you do it now. The short option you fear will almost certainly get you past careful methods. I give momentum to people who move things, not to people who think about them. Always remember that correction doesn't always come with a full reason. Gideon heard that the army was cut down. Philip heard someone run to the car. Joseph only heard a whisper in the middle of the night. Still, every turn opened new stories and changed the course of history. So let's start with the hero that is easiest to read. Let surprise go on trips with you like a trusted friend. PC. Getting rid of grudges, second guessing, and needless decisions doesn't always slow down progress. Keep the best needs safe. Honor, a humble spirit, and the skill of listening. I will give you the way for rest. As you swing to the new path, you can expect rough seas and wild winds, while setting patterns are thrown off. But feel my hands control the rudder. People may label you as impatient, but the results will silence them as timelines shorten and what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. Note this moment. Your quick obedience is like putting a date stamp in the records of heaven, marking the exact moment when your story crossed paths with heavenly speed. Later, you may be able to follow falling blessings back to this pivot and wonder how a supposedly small turn changed the flow of blessing rivers, so they came closer to fields that were suffering from drought. So, going by before dawn turns this arrangement into normal hours. Let the angels that are watching over you write down that they found you flexible and not stuck in yesterday's routine. Move your foot onto the new path. I breathe in confidence, let it out, and take a step because miracles happen when people follow through. Do not move down now. Run, not just forward, but toward the clear sound that can be heard in the spirit world. Breaking locks, snapping shackles, and heavy links falling to the ground. That sound isn't background noise. You used to think my strength stopped there because I was too tough or late. This sound is proof that it has grown. Every time a chain breaks, someone wins. It's a message from the prophets. We are breaking the ties that once ruled times, identities, and entire traditions. And I'm no longer just telling you to look at it. I want you to move toward it. There is speed waiting in that direction. Do you pay attention? That launch beat isn't always a fluke. It's the speed of salvation, and the beat of your steps should match it. This is the time when you need to flow like someone who thinks miracles are close. they're coming together. As you move toward the noise of freedom, something inside you may start to open up even more. You're not just seeing a big step forward. What kind of person is becoming a way for breakthroughs to keep happening? Sometimes, the sound of broken chains is not merely symbolic. It carries a medical significance. It reveals the second lie that had previously been accepted as true. The truth broke the curses passed down from generation to generation and the promises made in pain. As those fragments collide, the creation of new territory unfolds. Oppression once held this place, but now it serves as a healing space. But pay attention. This sound goes away for people who deal with it often. It's a window that pops open quickly. Additionally, I need you to run while the freedom gate is still open wide. As you walk, you will step on old ideas, deals that have ended, and contracts that were signed out of fear. They will all be lying around like broken manacles. Don't collect them just because you know them. Don't be sad about them because they were once yours. Then leave. Let them rest in the light of my glory and keep moving. Along this road, you will also meet other people. People who are being harmed, beaten, and blinking in the light after being held captive in the dark for years. Do not just pass them. Reach out to them. As a result, I accelerated your pace to assist those who were still astonished by their unexpected arrival. Tell them something. Write down what's free. Remind them that they're not seeing or hearing things. That's real. The memories will last forever. This is me. Help them walk. Help them get away. They are all going to move again and stay, to dream again. Some people have forgotten how their voice sounds when they're not wearing chains. A few people only hear quiet when accused. Now, though, their ears are being tuned to a certain frequency. There is grace, peace, and understanding. If you stay close to the sound of freedom, you'll be a guide. And as you run, be ready for other runners, but not me. Structures and voices that benefited from your bondage will likely fight back. They will try to make fun of your speed, question your change, and call it emotional, too soon, or impossible. Hold on, walk, and smile. This demonstrates that the obstacles you face no longer hold significant weight. Their disapproval is quieter than the sound you make when you follow through. Every mile you crawl now breaks the ground that held your fears in place. And whenever you move your foot in self-belief, the world around you changes. Keep an eye on how vintage territory changes its responses. Places where heaviness used to cling will now give you a sense of movement, anticipation, and readiness. The reason for this feeling is that you are carrying freedom, not just going toward it. The summertime is the season when things fall apart quickly. Things that were tied down for years are coming apart in the afternoon. It is not through hard work, but rather through my emotions. You would rather not force the doors open. They are swinging already. You need to run, not casually, but right away. Not carelessly, but with courage. Follow the sound of freedom until it wraps around you. The sound of freedom should resonate deeply within your bones. It becomes the only sound you can hear. The chains are no longer there. I'm going to move around like I'll never wear them again. Each snap shackle shouldn't be able to be heard for a long time. Take advantage of those echoes before they fade away. Make them into a live track, and let that song float on the same air that used to carry regrets. With the ears of your spirit, reach out and gather every steel note. The sound echoes from the burdens of the past, the clang from shame in the family, the clang from secret worries that no one ever saw, and sew them together like bells on a warrior's cloak, for the environment to remember that it can't hold you back. Let them jangle every time you move. Do not stop at noise, though. Make a song. Make thanksgiving sounds that rise and fall like waves, making melodies that are brave enough to shake hallways that are still haunted by sadness. Let drums of righteous zeal support every verse. In this way, rhythm and confidence work together. While your voice shakes, contemplate how you came out of the darkness to keep the sound steady. If fear is trying to choke you, let the enemy's hiss turn into a percussion accent. This practice will remind you that even threats can be used as rhythm in the nation's sound crack. Learn how rewards work physically. Pressure is part of sound. Joy is not a smooth feeling. The immense pressure is what sweeps away sadness, just as a gale sweeps away old smoke. As you sing, walls that you can't see break down. Even though you won't see walls falling, each word will feel like a hammer to the foundations of heavy spirits. Continue singing until the sound engulfs previously clouded parts of your mind. Sing until the halls of your workplace are buzzing with opportunities. Wait to write a song until someone in your neighborhood hears something they can't explain, but can't forget. That's the most basic kind of preaching. It conveys truth through its tone, with hope layered on top. If kids hear it, they will start to believe in impossible possibilities again. Those who are elderly and under its influence will experience the resurgence of dreams they once believed to be dead. Even cynics have to admit, if only to themselves, that this kind of impact couldn't come from just thinking positive thoughts. It needs a soul that is free. And while you're writing, ask other people to join the band. Some will come with broken voices, embarrassed by the cracked wood that comes from years of crying. Still, give them a degree because the choir of the kingdom values honesty over style. Their scars provide them exact notes that no trained singer could copy. You should instruct them that a sincere expression of gratitude, complemented by honesty, holds more power than a stadium filled with insincere applause. Soon, a patchwork of frequencies will fill the air with sopranos of new discovery, altos of tried and true endurance, tenors of prophetic urgency, and basses rumbling with generational release, until the air itself seems to shimmer, very likely because of joyful resistance. Darkness will meet the sounds of doubt, seeking to drown out the music. Despite the low drones of fatigue, your group's music will elevate to a new level, preventing discord stemming from unbelief from ever reaching it. As you plan, don't forget to keep the motion going. If the practice session concludes, songs that ignite a fire may eventually fade into ashes. Plan times for unplanned prayer, the same way that forces plan drills that are required, strategic and energizing. As winds pile up, write new lyrics so that new winds are immediately saved in sound. Tune your speech, your stance, and the choices you make every day, because deception detunes reward faster than any attack from the outside. Protect the truth of your words. There should be no complaining in the choruses, so you don't poke holes in the cover you're making. Life continually presents new challenges as the fights persist. However, there is no need to panic yet. Instead, focus on the subtle, faint ping of metal that is straining beneath the weight of heaven, and smile, because you know that another verse is on the way. In the end, aim your music outward like an arrow. Say that the same deliverer who broke your chains is now on watch looking for the next jail to empty. Your choir should call him King, Savior, and unquenchable light. And you should watch as desire runs ahead of the sound, breaking through locked doors, wrapping itself around hurt hearts, and breaking through windows you'll never see, but will one day hear, testified. This is why happiness wages don't agree. It sings when other things sigh. It laughs in the right amount of quiet. It goes on and on until night provides way to dawn. You kid, move the track up higher. Let the whole world feel the freeing shock that your song sends out. As the music builds and becomes the weight of your step forward into areas where it's not meant to be quiet, pause not to turn down the volume, but to change your stance. Reaching the summit requires relinquishing your breath. I need to tell you that the air here is thinner now that you've started to jump. But when the air is thinner, pride can't last long. At this top, you should breathe differently. It's not self-rejection to be humble. It is much simpler to understand that every person you have impacted, every chain you have broken, and every room that now hears your words is a result of kindness rather than power. My choice lifted you, but that act would not have been effective without kindness. Think about it. The arena isn't always the place where cheers go up. This is the place to breathe out respect. Let each breath in bring you awe, and each breath out brings you submission. You need to look into the sky right away, because elevation can trick even the most honest people. For a moment, you forget who held your steps steady, and all of a sudden, your vision blurs not from far away, but from pleasure slowly seeping into your veins like poison with no taste. When you're up here, even small mistakes cost a lot. I'm telling you these words now, not to make you feel bad, but to keep you. Make sure you don't mistake lighting for sunshine. Just because my eyes are on you doesn't mean that my face is shining through you. The attention quickly raises people up. My gentleness changes them for beneficial reasons. Transformation of juice. Even if you have a lot of power, keep a low spirit. Every day, bend your knees, even if the temperature rises. Say my name more often than your own. When people praise you, you should do better. Not with a cliché, but with real deflection, I said. Because I brought you here by myself and kept what I planned. But let this humility make room for even more growth at the same time. Satisfaction is loud and not safe. Being humble is brave and unique. Don't think that being shy means you are weak. I'm no longer telling you to turn down the light. You should remember who lit it, please. Being humble says, sure, I shine, but only because he set me on fire. Being humble walks into new rooms with confidence, but doesn't sit on a throne. It kneels even when asked to stand. It listens twice before speaking. It seeks my input before making assumptions, and is always open to being interrupted. When you breathe this air of humility every day, you start to welcome my presence at levels that such an approach shouldn't achieve. People will ask you how you keep growing without trying, how you stay relevant without promoting yourself, and how doors open without knocking. Your answer will not be method but posture. And I can tell you that this posture changes rooms. Where humility leads, authority follows. This authority is not just worldly, but it is the kind that can subdue chaos with a mere whisper. When pride comes in, heaven waits. But when humility comes in, heaven moves. Do you see the difference? One posture slows down your journey, while the other speeds it up. If you want me to keep trusting you with more reach, deeper insight, and brighter manifestations, you have to stay bowed even as you grow. That is the strange thing about kingdom greatness. Those who climb the highest have to learn how to kneel the fastest. Because you can see me best when you're on your knees. And when you see me right, you can understand everything else. Now take a deep breath again. Feel the weight of rising. Enjoy the benefit of letting go. Don't hold on to this season too tightly. Bring it to me first, then to you. Stay low to keep the air clear. Let other people race ahead with pumped up lungs and big plans. You live close to the ground in my presence. You'll push upward, but only through my wind. Let humility be your oxygen now. Let it keep your heart soft, your eyes open, and your steps natural. As you rise, continue to check your pulse, not to measure your ambition, but to safeguard your worship. If your heartbeat still whispers, "It's all you, Lord," you're breathing right. Keep going, but keep your head down. There is still a significant distance ahead, and this air, this holy air, was made for people who wouldn't forget the one who lifted them. Now that you know how to rise while staying low, I want you to live simply, and long enough to get something you can't get by working hard alone. Revelation, you don't want to try for it, scream for it, or try to change things to force it. You want to stay open, like a field at dawn, waiting for the sky to release what it can best deliver. Revelation isn't noise, it's mild nourishment. It doesn't come with fanfare, but with saturation, and when it lands, it won't cause a tremor, it'll cause change. I don't pour out revelation for fun, or to satisfy your curiosity. I do it when your spirit is ready to take in wisdom, without turning it into a show. If you stay still, you will feel it settle layer by layer, seeping into dry spots you didn't even know were cracked. This isn't statistics, a theory, or an idea. It's the unraveling of divine mysteries meant to rewire your knowledge. It's not just about me anymore. It's also about how I've planned your life to work at this time. When revelation comes, it doesn't just teach, it reorders. It takes your jumbled thoughts, broken hopes, and misplaced prayers and puts them in a better order. When peace comes after insight and clarity comes before reason, you may know that it was revelation. You may not always be able to hint at it logically, but you may know that it came from somewhere other than your creativity. You will feel good about yourself. It will break you open inside in the best way. What I'm offering you now is not for praise or contentment, but rather as a foundation. You've sung, stepped, and stretched, but now I want you to soak. Let me refresh the parts of your thinking that are weak from too much thought. Let me wash over the conclusions you came to out of pain instead of prayer. You have to believe some things before saying goodbye. These beliefs weren't true in themselves, but rather because they appeared to make life more bearable. But now I bring you truth, not a harsh fact meant to shame you, but a gentle reality that breaks down lies without hurting you. When my gentle touch is on your mind, you won't just feel smarter, you'll feel lighter, because truth takes away the weight that lies made you carry. My revelation will start to uproot your beliefs. You will see changes in how you view people, solve problems, procrastinate, and think about blessings. These aren't random changes. I'm recalibrating you from the inside out. You'll think it's just insight, but it's actually reprogramming. All of your programming is important. If you want to handle what comes next without falling apart, you need to know that revelation is the language of the dominion. Without it, you'll just guess, deal with, and react. With it, you'll build, lead, and move strategically. I'm not just providing you with thoughts. I'm also providing you with shapes, plans that emerge silently, insights that align like a puzzle, and confirmations that arrive before you've finished the question. This technique is what happens when you host revelation instead of rushing past it. It's not loud because it wouldn't need to be that way and wouldn't ask for permission to land. My reality doesn't need drama, it just needs attention. So sing your awareness now. Don't push aside what seems too subtle. Write down what seems too easy. Pay close attention to repeated impressions. As soon as possible, read the verses you left out again. They contain keys that I have set aside for your cutting-edge role. Every drop has a purpose, and every phrase will feed something new. Over time, what started as a quiet soaking will grow roots that hold you in clarity, while others chase shadows. Let the dew fall, stay and sink. What settles now will comfort you later. While the winds come back and questions swirl, you won't have to run away. You may stand immersed in wisdom, adorned with a why, insight that you have not earned but have been bestowed. From that place, you can start to talk, flow, and parent in a different way, because people who receive revelation at dawn walk with authority at noon. You're sopping wet now. Truth has seeped into every quiet corner. So don't store this new information away in secret places to think about it. Revelation is a living force that should be streamed, not stored. If you hide it, It will taste bitter, like manna that you store for one day. If you let it out, it will produce an exponential yield that feeds many more than your family. Imagine the morning moisture crackling open a seed. If the seed does not come into contact with soil, its promise remains trapped within its shell. The perception I gave you is a seed. Quickly sow it in conversations with hungry souls, in ready-to-read selections, and in frameworks in dire need of maintenance. Do it now. Don't worry that you'll waste holy insight by acting ahead of time. Stewardship entails making decisions guided by my heart. Every second you wait, doubt starts to build webs around the truth, covering it in what-ifs until moving feels risky and putting it off seems smart. Don't believe that fake caution. I didn't whisper just to get an idea for another diary page. I spoke out so that things could change and people could wake up. To start, please transform what you've heard into actionable steps you can implement immediately. Do not try to show the whole plan at once. Pour out pieces like bread for people on vacation today. Revelation functions similarly to bread and fish. Enjoy it, bless it, give it to others, and watch it grow as you give it. Say one line during an approach meeting that changes the whole project. Craft a concise statement that transforms the perception of decades of tradition. Provide someone one piece of proof when they are feeling overwhelmed by doubt, and watch their face light up. These small amounts seem to spread out into pools that you can't map. Take note that I am the Lord of compound interest. I put my exponential in your beneficial little, but buying discovery doesn't always come from outside sources. It's, by far, very personal. Consider adjusting your exercises before advising others on what to do. Let new information change the way you think about your goals. Change budgets so they reflect how generous the country is. Rearrange schedules to make time for rest. Change the way people talk so that grace becomes the standard speech. People will believe you more when they see that your words and sounds make sense. This will lead to more reveals and more confidence. Even if it's not obvious, hypocrisy drains spiritual capital faster than oppression. As a result, you should regularly verify yourself. Does how you use your time, skills, and compassion match what you know now? If holes show up, fill them in right away. Your thoughts become your knowledge when you live an integrated life. Prepare for a fight. Every seed you put in lets birds, weeds, and weather in. Critics will guess at reasons. Cynics will want facts that go over and over again. Comfort users will see haste as being careless. Have a lovely day and keep sowing. Stones thrown at a sword don't often hit the ground deep enough to stop the gathering. Your job is to distribute. Why does it belong to me? Some land will look empty, but after a few months you'll hear stories coming from that very spot. Some will grow quickly, then die. Don't cry over short-lived shoots anymore. They are meant to make you more willing to obey. Don't give up on floor measures. Instead, accept the long math of forever. Plan ahead when you partner up. Revelation grows in covenant groups where taking responsibility improves it. I am searching for friends who will react now, not with praise from me, but with new ideas, predictive questions, and a desire to work hard with me. Combine your ideas to make a fabric neither of you can weave alone. Collective discovery can be like a coiled wire that can hold generations of loads, while single threads break underneath. However, protect yourself from toxic relationships with individuals who seek validation through appearances, but are unwilling to change. Love them, but don't let anyone get to them until fruit follows attention. The most important thing is to keep your source linked. Clean discovery will always be better than what we thought we knew yesterday. You should no longer rely on outdated information. Those seeds you planted today will need new instructions every day. Farmers check the sky every season, even if they sowed carefully the previous year. Don't stop harrowing. Keep planting and turning the fields so that the dirt doesn't get too dry. Enjoy every crop with thanks, but be ready for the museum to build round old displays of perception. Monuments to the past become gods that keep the rain from falling the next day. Act swiftly, therefore, avoid letting any plans fall through. Building permits turn into homes, make houses into lights. It was never meant for the dew that fell on you at sunrise to disappear in the sun's absence. It has to soak into the ground and look for a way to get there. Spend your revelations like a brave trader who puts their money in the market of God's promises. A guaranteed return will be pressed down, shaken together, and poured into every area I have given you to control. Follow quickly, and you will reap forever. Do not be surprised when new information causes chaos. Increase keeps sending its locations to forces that want to keep things from moving. When your perception digs roots into sensible ground, countercurrents start to move, searching for weak spots. Pay attention to me. This isn't always a sign that action is required. That's more proof that you hit on the right path in life. Infantrymen in the front line should never mistake the sound of arrows coming in for their failure. They interpret these arrows as evidence of their strength, surpassing the enemy's comfort zones. Consider having the same attitude. Prepare yourself ahead of time instead of after the fact. Look at the territory of your thoughts, as a general would. Look at maps before dawn. Choose low walls over which despair can rise. Strengthen the gates through which distractions could sneak in as possibilities. Make sure you have enough truth stores so that your courage never runs out. Waiting doesn't always mean being paranoid. Putting on protection before morning is a much better idea. Let joy be your defense against what makes sense. A fighter laughing under a campfire is the best way to throw darkness off. That laughing doesn't always mean denying something. It does not imply that the results were evident prior to the start of the fighting. You're tied to promises written in temporary ink, anchored past the visible show. If you want to avoid charges, smile on purpose. Your smile lets everyone know that heaven has already decided in your favor. Say, "Thank you," while your plan gets jumbled. Your calmness traps chaos and makes it feel like it needs to act quickly. As you go over your plans, sing softly. Melody shatters illusions. Just as a gentle wind can dispel mist from a valley, so too can melody break illusions. That's deliberate happiness, not just plain happiness. Every look, laugh, and raised brow sends a message to people who can't see you that you are still in control in the middle. Prepare your language to engage in a heated exchange of words. Don't feel like you have to explain revelation to every critic. What starts as clarification can turn into conflict. Instead, practice short statements that are based on what I've said, not on what the situation calls for. Answer with the plan that came from the builder, who already took this ridge into account when an issue comes up. When money is tight, the need for supplies takes precedence over compliance. No matter where I go next, supply will be there to meet me. Keep your words short and sharp. Long talks make you worn out. Certain truth cuts deeper more quickly. And train your tongue until your reflexes are in line with your permanent attitude, instead of your emotional reviews of the weather. Words build walls around ideas, and enemies waste their power by climbing those walls instead of breaking your peace. Tune up your frame too. Lack of clarity is caused by fatigue. Resistance loves a subject that is worn out. While you are feeling fatigued, make sure to drink water, stretch, and relax. Burnout is not caused by sacred tasks. Rhythm is made by it. Even shooters loosen their bowstrings at night. Warps with less stress might do the same. You should treat your body like a ship carrying royal packages. Upkeep is a good idea. Furthermore, don't be alone right now. While being alone can help you think more clearly, being alone for a long time can make you more vulnerable to sneak attacks. Gather a group of opinions that agree with you. People who might not run away when anger comes their way, and who can help you keep things in perspective while doubts bounce around in your head. Standing shoulder to shoulder with a watchful friend blocks out more darkness than a lone hero striking madly in the dark. Remember that clandestine means are used. The opposition rarely marches in full dress. It sneaks in through a hurt ego. Repackage old feelings. Compromise runs through flattery like water. Empathy and the urge to feel sorry for yourself should prompt you to begin packing. Look at your sudden tiredness. If it's physical, is it religious? When longing makes you want to return to the stars, audits provide a promise of a kind of interconnected meaning. You transcended your comfort zones and frequently concealed your limitations. Instead of panicking, see inner tightness as an early warning sign that makes you want to pray. The Spirit will bring to your attention details and old comments, lingering settings, and a subtle change in a person's mood. While you shouldn't overreact, it's equally important to acknowledge her presence. Respond with a short prayer, rearranged problems, or a moment of silence. Small changes in direction now keep ships from sinking later. While poop gets worse, improve your mood again. You're not by yourself. Peace looked for space on a crowded board. A king is following you and can see past the next move to the already planned checkmate. No matter how loud it is, resistance stays the same over time. Revelation goes back hundreds of years once it becomes real. Please address disagreements with that timeline in mind. Ask yourself, will this fight be remembered in the light of a 1,000-year horizon? Usually, the answer reduces the drama to dirt. When disasters do have effects that last generations, lean more on the instructions I've saved for your spirit. The directions might not make sense. Get away from here. Improve that. Bless those whose flesh wants to fight back. The best strategy is to obey. Strange forces influence how the body reacts in predictable ways. Carefully write down wins. Every dispute that is solved becomes a case study for your internal court. This improves the decision-making process for fate trials. Please refer back to that information while awaiting new developments. When you've had success before, you automatically feel confident. And if a fight leaves a scar on your skin, show it off as proof, not as a sign of stress. Scars let enemies know that their weapons didn't stop you from moving. It's possible for their teller to keep going. People say that my hand never left the hilt of your heart to protect it. In the end, you should celebrate Mick and pain. Morale drops when people wait for the final victory before they can celebrate. After a tough discussion, celebrate with a friend at mile marker coffee with small meals of thanks. The answer to prayer was a walk under the stars. Make a note in a vibrant notebook to ensure you resist giving in. Those small parties drop confetti and then leave, making it impossible for anyone to be bored by criticism. To sum up, be alert, smile brightly, talk to people honestly, take care of your body, stay connected. Write down the sample and eat often. Revealing something will build anticipation, which will keep pushback from taking over progress. You can be sure of an early victory every time you go into battle, not with fear, but with confidence, knowing that the ending was planned before the story even began. Don't revert to your own energy, now that you see how hard the upward push is. In my country, there is no such thing. The wars that came before need a treaty, not freedom. There's no way you were meant to handle the whole task by yourself. When the wind never stops, even the brightest flashlight goes out. But when the fires get close together, they build a furnace that no wind, no matter how strong, can put out. Being solidaristic isn't always optional. It's a planned defense. You might feel confident on your own, but confidence that isn't rooted in something can become weak. You are not the only one who has to endure the pushback you can feel. This means getting closer and connecting with people who share your passions, communicate in similar ways, and approach parenting in the same manner as you do. Moving at the same time might have power. The enemy studies not only hearts, but also the gaps between people. He listens for footsteps in the distance and throws his darts at people who are walking just far enough away from the institution that if they trip, no one will notice. So now is the time to press in, not only in me anymore, but also in the people I sent to walk with you. Believe me when I say that you're not the only one whose mind is burning with ideas, whose body is shaking under the weight of revelation, or whose spirit is rising through levels of sudden flight. Some people will understand your words perfectly, even before they see your face. When you talk to them, they'll feel better. Their words will align with the plan I showed you, fitting together like pieces of a puzzle. But you need to move. Delight will tell you that you can handle everything. Beyond the scars will be echoes of signs of impending betrayal. There may also be misunderstandings, but none of this is stronger than duty. Pursue what you desire, forgive others, extend invitations, resolve any misunderstandings, or strengthen connections without hesitation, as stronger bonds are essential for the challenges ahead. That's more than just friendship. I'm making partnerships so that predicted storms can happen and a joint blessing can begin. Even if you only bring a small part, together you can lift the whole thing. Some protect what one sets on fire. What one figures out, someone else tells everyone. What one person thinks, another person plans. The combination is more than what skill can make. My spirit weaves hearts together into a single rhythm that will endure beyond trends and surpass the competition. And while I'm there, unity is formed, but it turns into a real evil that can't be understood. Hell doesn't understand balance. On the other hand, when I see my kids linking shields, I let go of my preference regarding the character and focus instead on the settlement itself, where oil flows down from the peak across their shoulders and onto their bodies. This oil won't affect individual ambition. Instead, it benefits care, and indeed, cohesion will be valuable to you. It will demand flexibility. It will test your ego and make you question what you know, but the prize will be worth it. It's possible to learn that the warmth of a network is more than just comfort in times of struggle. It's also readability. In the group of resigned friends, you'll hear me more honestly. You might be able to make me feel stronger in a room full of honest worshipers. When you stop racing and begin to support one another, you'll see me more clearly. And while one person whips, another will follow suit. Every other will move when one hesitates. While one falls, the others will stay steady. Those are the things my frame can do. Connected, organized, and hiding. Please identify the ones I sent out. They won't look like you thought they would. They won't speak the same language or move at the same speed, but keep an eye on their food. Ask their spirit. Find where I left my mark on their lives. When you find them, make the bond stronger. Ventilate by letting air in. Quickly make peace. Correct people in a gentle way. Encourage people in a beneficial way. And be committed to praying for people. I need a few sparks for the oven I'm making. And where there is still unity, my stove will remain stable. The area will now recognize me not only for your wonders, but also for the depth of your love for each other. So let's build this fire. Stroke it with all your heart. Feed it with respect. Do not let contrast hit it, and let its heat clear the way for what I'm about to do through you. You are no longer alone. You are with everyone else who stands in the fire, which isn't meant to burn but to clean. Allow this truth to sink in deeply. You are being shaped right now, not burned. You're not being punished by the energy you feel. It's just pure accuracy. There is no breaking down going on here. I'm just burning away what wasn't meant to go with you into the future I've planned. Is it? It is indeed sacred, and it serves a specific purpose. Every bit of pain, every second of delay, and every sudden fight of words is for a better reason. You asked me to use you. So I'm going to answer with a method instead of a structure. I'm cleaning up the parts of you that could break under stress if you don't get them fixed. I can see where you were in the past. I can see what kind of person you need to become to go where I'm sending you next. There is no longer a rush to refine. The fires stay on until the dirty things fall to the ground. In other words, if you see attitudes fall, wounds show up. Since your idea was not visible, embrace the situation and rise above it. Enjoy yourself. This process isn't always going backwards. Fixing that danger is a priority. It's not possible to sell what you hide. You can't grow from the problems you face. I love you too much to let you bring secret cracks into public places. That's why this fire is so hot. But also, why is it being controlled? I'm messing with the temperature. I know how to add worry, and how much to let it build up. I know when to speak up, when to wait, when to comfort, and when to correct. You are no longer alone in this fire. Someone is with you. But this is what you should understand. What I am trying to reinforce will remain fragile if you attempt to leave too soon, making it susceptible to breaking under future pressure. You may be able to pretend to have gifts, but you cannot maintain power. You can get people's attention by giving off a hint of a secret, but the most successful person keeps up the calling. And cheers don't make people who they are. It is thrown into trouble. Honesty has been hammered in. It is made by itself. It gets stronger during times when you feel unnoticeable but responsible. There are times when no one is cheering, tweeting, or opening doors, but your dedication stays strong. This is where gold starts. And I will rise from the fires when the time is right. It will shine brightly, without the smell of smoke and ashes. In resilience, humans will see things they can't explain. People may pay attention to the power in your voice that doesn't come from training or skill, but from having done it before. You can speak with weight because you walked through the fireplace without swearing at me, because you remember what it was like to be broken. You'll be kind as a leader. You will exercise caution when giving orders to others, because you understand how delicate change is. This is the type of chef I'm making. That's the kind of boat I agree with more. Don't be jealous of other people's quick rises as they skip the fire and go after the degree. Their roots aren't strong, but yours is being buried quietly and well, and no storm can shake what I build with faith that has been studied over a furnace. The heater doesn't make things perfect. It makes things pure. That clarity may also make it possible to read. You start to figure out which subjects are critical. You don't look for noise anymore. You would rather not be approved of. Then you start to move deliberately, speak deliberately, walk with kindness, and stay with conviction. That is the picture I'm making of you. So stay with the method. Take in the warmth. Let the painting happen. Do not fight the cutting back. Don't dislike the quiet. Do not run away from the stress. Instead, agree with it and lean in. Being aware that everything is uncomfortable right now could be a sign that something permanent is being made inside you. I want to show you the greatness I saw in you before anyone named you, not to make you less important. Gold is not scared of fire. It shows itself there. You will too. You might not just shine when I send you out. You will give someone a stove that they can use to heat themselves. Now it's not a flame of happiness but of reason. However, it is no longer one of general success but of purity. That's what the oven was used for. Give it time to finish painting. You're no longer going to drop yourself here. You are becoming the person I always knew you were. You are now ready for what many people want, but few can carry without breaking. Your interior has been looked at, and the truth has been written into your base. It is effect that matters, not fame, attention, or mere interest. The quiet ability to shape choices, change stories, demand loyalty, and guide people toward their true plan. It's difficult to carry this weight. There is no room for praise. It means you have to do something. I need more from you now because I have depended on you more. Because it's far, you should treat every word, action, and wish as a seed. People are looking at you right now, whether you know it or not. People are paying attention to more than just what you say. They are also watching how you live when no one is around to ask you a question. Some people will look at your shadow before they listen to your speech. And the shape of the shadow you cast should match the shape you say you mirror. Being a steward is not about tricking people. It has to do with care. It's the ongoing, planned upkeep of what I mean by within your reach. If you treat your impact like it's nothing, it will turn into desire. If you deal with it in a selfish way, it turns into trickery. Your ego will eat it up if you forget that it was born in the fire. That's the real reason I'm being so gentle when I give this advice. Protect the effect I've found on you. There are people watching you, not just for your own good. You have lost track of who is trying to strike at your stability, because you were patient and helped them find words for desire. You can't see who is building religion in the quiet parts of their fights. You are a part of something bigger than yourself, and that level of exposure should be paired with thought. Now is the time to look at each site you're on. Are you using your words to speak the truth or to make people feel better? Do your words primarily lead people to freedom, or do they encourage them to simply copy you? Using energy doesn't keep the impact going. Having character helps it grow. If your ego grows faster than your willingness to give up, it will eventually choke itself with its reach. So, let me keep looking at your reasons. Denon, let me quickly correct you. Let me stop your motion while it moves out of place. Because if you hold on to me during every season of growth, what I build through you might last longer than praise and even scandal. I'm no longer interested in short-term buildings. I'm building altars for different generations. That being said, you should also know that control over influence means saying no more often than sure. Every invite isn't a job. Not every highlight is a green light. Not every project you work on is a calling. Begin to figure out what is right for you, not just what is best. You don't have to be available to all of us if it makes you less real. Keep your time safe. No longer will you protect your appearance out of fear, though. In the event that I have given you power, you are formally required to protect it. You are not making things difficult when you create obstacles. You're smart, and knowledge keeps traditions alive. Watch how you use your power when you talk. Effect wouldn't always look like it's leading a crowd. It often means being the only person in the room who won't give in. Maintaining your values is crucial, even when the pressure to conform becomes overwhelming. It was the one thing that doesn't change with time or taste. People are not calling you loud. People know you're clean. Allow your readability to speak for you. When the weight of your partner fits the width of your reach, fruit starts to grow in ways that marketing and ads can't, and that fruit speaks for you. Finally, remember that this result isn't always yours to brag about. Sometimes its thoughts shine through. I loaned it to the Standard. I weck it in the hands of someone I trust. I rely on people who consistently honor the trust I have placed in them. Keep your heart soft, your sense of right and wrong sharp, and your reasons clean. Every choice you make affects people even after you die, because it truly does. And once I know I can trust you at this level of power, I can expand your area, not just in terms of numbers, but also in terms of agreement and heaven's blessing. and no one can change what I say. Take good care of it. I'm watching your walk to see how far I can take you next. As soon as you start to control your impact with fear and nervous care, I'll take you to places where normal logic doesn't make sense, because discovery has to now grow into radical desire. Take a look around. Why trash? Thunder rolls, views spin like spray, and familiar landmarks sink below waves of doubt. Don't hold on to things that you can swallow right now. Hold on to the path my feet make through the chaos. It does not make sense based on science, but faith is a better tool. You have to strain your eyes through the salt mist to see the faint shimmer of a prince that remains constant and does not disappear. They move forward slowly. I am different from wind reviews. Here is your map. Every step I take corresponds to locations that are uniquely coded for your spirit. These locations represent the latitude of time, the longitude of respect, and the height of care. I pause, stop, and step when I am ready. If you try to identify paths, you'll feel something pulling at your legs. If you wait too long, worry will hit you in the ribs. Momentum now depends on how quickly things can be changed. Pay attention to the quiet sound that comes before each wave. That sound of quiet is me calling for a boost. Raise your foot, even before your brain can figure out how buoyant you are. I promise that more tasks will be completed, but they seem to be most effective when bravery takes precedence over balance. X-traders on safer decks yell, "Be careful!" while they read records, measure the speed of the wind, and emerge as the ship sails away. Please bless them, but don't get on their boat. They use fear as a guide to find their way, and worry says that anything bigger than safety is impossible. But you continue your journey gracefully and effortlessly, intended to navigate the challenges that the plant mind perceives as dangerous. Keep your eyes fixed on the bright mark in front of you. Even nights with no moon can't take away its glow, for my path includes shining a light on myself. If you look closely during lightning strikes, you might see quick animals starting to bite, ancestral curses moving around like dorsal fins. Don't look down right now. Attention is good for predators. Don't lose your upright awareness. My footsteps make screens that can't be seen. There is a pressure area under each step that stops the whole thing from moving. Wagon. You can feel the water getting higher on your shins. Then calm down. These swells aren't threats. They're just confirmations that you still choose me over comfort. Feel the spray on your lips. Let it serve as a reminder that baptism isn't a one-time event, but a lifelong commitment to relying on God. He continues, saying, "Every droplet hissing off your robe sings." Say back, "I agree." Agreement increases the appearance of imprints. As you claim more alignment, the road below you becomes lighter, changing the pitch black surface into a runway of liquid crystal. As you go along, you may notice that the present parts of chances are shining like gold coins tossed on the surface. Avoid side trips. There are many deceptive opportunities that can lead to financial loss. These trips are designed to drain your finances until you have none left. The most valuable thing here is direction itself. The timing is known. As soon as you take away one print, the sample moves past achievement. If you want to shine in short under deck lights holding fake profits, it's better to look silly walking behind my beat with nothing on your mind. Think about breathing in time with the waves. When the top lifts you up, breathe in discovery. Worship as the trove brings you down for the next step. At rhythm, fear is turned into momentum, and every fall is turned into a launch. Soon, your steps will be indistinguishable from mine. Instead of a loss of identity, it's now a union, with an ideal layer of motivation on top. People watching from broken boats will gasp at the impossible dance happening, and some will jump after you, determined to do the same thing that you are. When they sputter, Stretch out a hand without stopping the beat. Your stability turns into an offer. But never take your eyes off my return. Instead, focus on their chaos. If you both sink, you'll both die. Led by having people follow you. I'm not going to promise ease anymore. I pledge to be truthful. The storm could worsen and transform into towering walls of water, but Prince will expand and construct buildings when the gales intensify. Stand, sing, and look out over clear distances while the decks behind you pitch. Your advantage will let you start tactics you never thought of in peace. Take pictures of them in your soul's memory. In the future, they will break into plans for people who are rebuilding after tempest. Step 1 for now, though, because pictures make places bigger, farther away, and easier to find on islands that don't have charts. The horizon could be dark or bright. Don't look for the coast. You are looking for the next bright mark. Each hand rests comfortably for a short time so that you can land, and then it spreads out behind you, stopping your escape. Grace removes the reverse gear, making forward the only direction home. So my walk is shaped by the Titan robe and my steady heartbeat. Say something and then do it right away. This evening, we don't walk on water to carry out a plan. Instead, we do it to show that the elements obey the covenant and that storms accompany dreamers. As care grows, it leads to a trip that isn't possible without faith and a path through eternity. As you keep going, the salt in the wind starts to sting your lips. Both the ocean and the trails of feelings left behind provide this salt. It's not just water. Memories are what they are. You should know that every tear you've shed in sadness has been recorded. Now, not a single tear fell to the ground. There was never a time of quiet pain, confusion, or strong desire that was not seen. All of your tears, your ancestors' groans, your falls, and your midnight pleas are in the ocean under your toes. Still, here you are, not dying in the water that was about to eat you, but walking on it, because I said something over what was about to drown you. A taste on your mouth isn't just proof of this. It's a taste that endures, even when your mind fails to recognize it. I'm telling you right now that your pain has been kept for a reason. I'm not at all dismissing what you offer in openness. I'm not making light of the pain of grief in any way. I make use of it. I change it. I put it into the place you are walking through right now. You once asked the road why it had to come back for you later. Why is it so hard to catch? Why there were so many heartbreaks? Now, though, the sea itself tells the story of each level at a depth, and I divided them all into separate parts. Your past is carried by the water. They don't change your direction, though. You're not being taken away by their power. You walk by my word. Please allow that realization some time to sink in and enjoy it fully. Let it reach the raw spots that are still longing for peace. Let it help you deal with the sadness you hid under your courage. Because I haven't recovered with you, even though I'm leading you. To feel whole, you don't have to wait until the trip is over. Actually, each success will make you more whole. As you raise your foot in surrender, I mend a piece within you that pain has shattered. I'm going to save you. I will save you not after the storm, but during it. I am no longer just the God who waits for the end. I'm the one who keeps you moving and steadying your pace while you think about everything. You'd never make it without me. It's holy, even the salt you use now. Do not dislike it. One more thing to tell you, you're not dead anymore. Your heart still beats, even though it has been hurt. Your spirit continues to yearn, hope, and believe. The taste is strong because it is pure and hasn't been tainted by fake comforts or sugar. Coded replies. You didn't take the shortcut. There was an ocean above you before you went through the middle. Now it's under your feet. And the way you talk about that wind shows that it was real. It represents the beginning of a surprising experience that you will savor. As you move forward into the present, the final indication of the past transforms into the current reality. Don't be afraid of more tears. They're not going to hurt you. They will baptize you again to show that they trust you. All the tears you shed when you're with me become part of the energy you're walking on. This sea doesn't always stand here to scare you. Remember this. As the next wave of emotion rises when your eyes fill up again, I want you to let it waft. This time, it comes from a place of strength and honor. This is because you are no longer grieving over loss. What you're crying over is what I fixed. What you've been through is no longer useless. It's built into the beat of your steps, the sound of your surrender, and the path that people will take behind you. You might not know it yet, but your adventure will lead to someone else's big step forward. They might nudge you in the middle of their storm, taste that equal salt, and all of a sudden understand they're not alone. That the sea they were scared of is the same one you went across. The tears they shed are not strange to me. I know them because I've carried yours before. It's not enough to just walk through water anymore. You're making maps in places where no one thinks a path could exist. Hold on to transferring. Try it and don't forget it. Every silent drop that fell is now a part of this holy sea below you. Then I split it. I'm holding on to it now. And I will keep holding on until what tasted like loss turns into the taste of success that no one can deny. Now that the salt of remembering gives you proof of success in your mouth, widen your mouth. Don't whisper in fear. No careful hum. Let out a trumpet blast that cuts through the thick fog. You are holding on to the driven minds around you. Your voice has a sound that was formed in storms, softened in furnaces, and kept steady on water. It's perfectly shaped to clear up confusion that has held back areas that are still waiting for morning. You should not be afraid to speak up, because hesitating lowers the frequency that you were meant to use. As soon as you say what I showed you in person, things start to get back to normal. Clear reasons emerge from the fog. Hidden wounds and secret plans come to light, and evil meddling can no longer hide. You're not just giving people hope. You are resetting non-secular scales and pushing settings to match the real stress of facts. Take note of how confusion spreads when the tone isn't tainted by self-promotion. It can't talk to a message that doesn't have anything to show. However, before you sound, play the trumpet. Get rid of any bitterness that's still there. Many less bitter notes can turn discovery into charge. Let humility grease the valves, so that every word runs easily and doesn't cause any roughness that could take attention away from the message. Then breathe in confidence and proceed with kindness. Prophetic clarity serves as a tool for freedom, not a weapon for pride. Even though they come from a soft heart, sharp words can cut chains without cutting hearts. Remember, I didn't save your life by putting out a fire or a flood to set off a careless alert. Even as it convicts, your name should go through healing modes. Keep that energy up and be strong but kind, eager but sensitive, and firm but forgiving. When the time comes, let it go, whether it's in front of a crowd, writing an unmarried text, praying over a friend who is shaking, or posting a line that makes your heart race with joy. Sense waves spread from the diaphragm to the environment like merging ripples, until questions that have been hanging over beds, boardrooms, and back alleys suddenly become clear. Some will be strong. Readability shows us the comforts we've built on uncertainty. You can expect pushback from organizations that thrive on unclear boundaries. Do not go back. Trumpets are used to make statements, not to negotiate. If the reaction gets stronger, blow again. The result is stronger when it happens over and over. The repeated driver blasts bring down Jericho's walls of pleasure. Keep an eye on the response as your sound balance gets better. People who are suffering under multiple storylines will enjoy their internal tools eventually locking together after grinding and confusion. They can cry no longer out of sadness, though, but because confidence is a sharp medicine. Others will attack you because your sound makes them afraid of making money through chaos. God bless them. Keep making noise. Let reaction show how right you are. When people applaud, reality almost never comes out unhurt. But even as critics write responses, freedom will already be running down the streets as soon as doubt stops it. Another advantage is the power of speaking the truth without any filters. You no longer need to worry about being called serious. When someone is average, they don't think accuracy is important and don't mind making mistakes. Being receptive to criticism is essential if you wish to learn, and I'm an expert at reducing scope without reducing passion. Putting yourself on mute ahead of time is an extra risk. When God's concern is felt, silence and lying go hand in hand. Get rid of that deal. Put your fears on the altar and let the bell rest in self-awareness. I will monitor your tone as long as you remain committed to the cause. Use your breath in a smart way. Trumpet blasts can't go on forever if lungs don't get better. Take a break with me among statements that are filled with scripture. Worship, laughter, and rest keep the pitch from falling into despair, even when people are worn out. A hoarse one does as much damage as a quiet one. About rhythm. Engage in conversation, and then take a moment to recharge before continuing the conversation. This rhythm sounds like thunder in heaven, with hush coming after it and lightning coming before it. In the quiet moments, I can refine my words, concentrate on specific moments, and monitor names, places, rules, and systems that require the next blast to be customized, akin to a key in a lock. When the timing is perfect, fewer words hold greater significance. Prepare the next generation to play the trumpet with mouthpieces that are easy to find and remember. Teach people to be ambassadors of honesty, people who can control their breath during prayer, and people who can store text. Let them work out with you until harmony turns into a multi-layered fanfare that echoes for a long time. You may never walk again, but your replacements have given up and turned your one tone into a symphony. The reverberation of multiple generations creates a profound impact. Finally, please keep in mind why you play the trumpet, not to show off your skills, but to show the way. It's important for everyone to think about the king, whose word you follow. As the cheers come in, raise your trumpet higher. Let him in first when the doors open. Point the inmates to the person who will save them while they applaud. As long as you keep this setting, your voice will not turn into noise. It will continue to be a complex tool that allows prophetic understanding to move freely, cutting through confusion today, shaping fate every day, and reverberating through eternity as proof that a single sweeping walker on water was chosen to sound the alarm without apologizing. Your voice, having awakened dormant places and disrupted hidden darkness, might present you with a fresh opportunity. This new offer might not rumble like thunder, but rather whisper like the wind. Express more kindness. Rather than being kind only when someone asks or apologizes, true freedom endures when it is both received and given. You have to know these truths in the deepest parts of your being. I know what it means to be just, but I share healing with people who are brave enough to forgive. You've walked through storms, brought order to chaos, and spoken words that changed the mood of places. Now, however, I want you to do something that may also affect your well-being. Take your hand off the stones you have and are allowed to throw. Your next season could be tied to the betrayal you were supposed to get over if you don't let go of it. Mercy doesn't forget. Mercy is remembering through the lens of restoration. Does choosing now mean being marked by my past actions instead of theirs? Seeing their face and making the decision to reflect my kindness instead of their hatred is a significant step. You don't have to act like it didn't happen anymore. I want you to read it and claim it. This pain won't be able to live on through me. This is how bans end. Not while retaliation is being carried out, but while kindness stops the planned sample. You're more energetic than you think. Not to kill, but to take away weapons. To stop anger before it grows into a castle. This allows for the healing of heritage scars that are passed down from one generation to the next. It's crucial to soothe your own heart before it transforms into uncertainty. At times, you may want to dismiss pity as a weakness, but it's important to remember that mercy is a powerful weapon. Heaven consistently prevails in this type of battle. But there are miles of fierce defiance against anger. The whisper that says they should pay, and the historical lie that says your recovery depends on how much they are punished. No, that's not the power I'm giving you. My country comes when the angry one decides to bless. People who are cursed choose to talk peace, and people who are confused propose a table instead of a court case. That's when heaven comes down to earth. This time, it's not through sound, but through a desire stronger than any charge. I understand what you're thinking. What will happen if they never switch? What if they do it again? What if showing kindness makes me more likely to be betrayed? I'm telling you right now that your kindness isn't a weakness. It's a seed, and every seed planted in kindness has the power to grow into a new life. It was no longer in bloom. You may not see it in them, but the seed of kindness will find a way to uplift them. It will go up for your kids. It will increase your sense of peace. It will help your exercise level go up. Despite how soft your heart is, it will push up inside it. While others cultivate empathy without resorting to violence, it grows in a manner that reduces the likelihood of retaliation. And wherever kindness rules, I rule. But that doesn't mean there aren't any problems. Kindness doesn't erase what you know. You can let someone go without bringing them back to the place they harmed. You can forgive someone without making them realize that what you say is true again. Think of it as being remade over time. Kindness is given right away. One is gained, and the other is skilled. Do not get them mixed up. Mercy isn't quiet about abuse or letting harmful styles happen. When you demonstrate mercy, you confront the wrongdoing and resolve to let it no longer shape your identity. It means, you hurt me, but you don't describe me. You make me angry, but you don't describe me. I will release you, not because you are correct, but because I refuse to allow your errors to influence my own. When you exaggerate, you're more like me than any sermon you'll preach. I didn't wait to earn my blood. I gave it while you were still rejecting me. The present is the mercy you've earned. Now launch it. Send the text. Say the prayer. Burn the grudge. Bless them, even if your voice shakes. Do it while crying or trembling. Do it slowly if you have to. But do it because mercy is movement. And this movement takes you from your past and your wounds right into territory that the enemy can't get to, because there is no vengeance there. Let the trumpet echo fade into the wind. There will be a louder sound after that. The quiet power of mercy will rise like a banner over your life, telling every look of strength and principality, this one has been made new. This one doesn't know what happened. This one is a provider of heaven's justice, dressed in mercy, moving forward with smooth arms and a loose heart. This one can't be stopped. This person is mine. You've laid down the stones of revenge, spoken words of mercy where curses were expected, and launched names that echoed with pain. Now comes the holy training that doesn't need your eloquence, but your persistence. It's time to build not just ideas or visions in your mind, but real movements, structures, and environments that bear the mark of your obedience. I delivered you now so that you should design. I added you so that you can design. You alone possess the ability to shape the land with your unique fingerprints. not because they can't, but because they weren't chosen for this blueprint. This part of your journey won't be exciting for you. The group might not be cheering. Your fingers will develop blisters. Your back will hurt. Your name might not be celebrated. That's how you'll know you're in the middle of my will, because heaven often builds in silence under the ground with tools that the rest of the world thinks are silly. Grab the hammer of the field and the nails of consistency. Level twice, cut as soon as possible, and base each structure on obedience instead of ambition. Now isn't always the time to wait for the best circumstances. Now is the time to obey, even if it's still hard, annoying, or unclear. The raw materials may not look like much right now. They're just pieces of what was left over after the storm. But I can teach you how to turn every loss into strength that can hold weight. You must understand that this production is not easy from the outside. You are the task. The way you look at what you're building has to match the way you look at what's going on inside you. Your scaffolding will be every relationship you improve, every idea you write down, and every choice you give up. I will not allow you to build on the outside while you remain unstable on the inside. The delays you experienced were not punishments, rather, they served a purpose. It was a shift. I used it to strengthen your inner base. If you don't do this part, the weight of your calling will crush you instead of raising others. That's another reason why you can't share this season. You may have helpers. Without a doubt, I will send people to work with the imagination. But don't give them what I told you not to touch directly. Some pieces need your blood, your tears at midnight, and your hands in the dirt. I want your smudges on the beams, and your sweat in the cement. I want the environment to convey sincerity when others enter the space you have created. There is value in the air for them to feel, and it will make a space for change that not only encourages, but also promises. You might feel like your tools are too small at times for the size of the job. Do not stop building. Voices may tell you that someone else wants to do it better, faster, or louder. Stop building. There may be days when you can't see any improvement. You may question whether there is indeed a significant change occurring beneath the surface. I do my most important work in secret, so please don't build right now. Silence has buried seeds. Weak spots were used to whisper prayers. Blueprints were created in caves that only you and I have ever visited. Continue constructing the building, as what you are creating now will benefit not only this age, but also future generations. The next one will also be safe there. In addition, I want you to make our test. Around you, there will be a lot of noise with measurements, numbers, growth plans, and frameworks. It's not really your guide anymore. How can you learn to obey? If I tell you to build a tent while other people build towers, trust me. The tent may also turn into a refuge where my presence stays, while the tower falls apart from its own weight. Their praise doesn't mean as much as your yes. I do not need you to stand out. I need you to be right. I don't want you to move faster. I need you to stay true to me. When you place each brick deliberately, it will become a sign that heaven is coming to earth through your arms. The day will come when your creation is discovered. So enjoy the moment while someone stumbles upon what you've built and finds peace they have never known, while a tired soul rests under the color of your loyalty. Because you didn't give up, a coronary heart beats again. Then you'll understand why I wouldn't let you hire someone else to do it. It will show in their eyes. You will be able to hear it in their words. It will be clear to you in the stillness that comes after their healing breath. And you'll know that every swing of the hammer, sheet of paper, and leap of faith was worth it. You built the best thing possible with my guidance, and nothing created in that way can ever be destroyed. Your hands are shaping what I envisioned deep within your heart. I should quickly let you know. Each element is important. Unseen times are the most important. If motivation is lost, it's more likely to build something that looks good, but doesn't work. Don't allow unseen erosion to undermine the protection that public care appears to offer. I'm not just looking at what you're building anymore. I'm looking at how. You know all the right words, can use all the best tools, and can even talk to smart speakers. However, if you don't address even a single flaw in your ethics, the consequences will become apparent when the pressure increases. I'm calling you right now to look at your base with me. Not because they are ashamed, but because they want to keep going. The level of worry is not very high. Foresight is what that's about. I want what you're growing to last longer than you do, to endure the stress of seasons you haven't reached yet, and to host miracles that will be remembered for generations. Not all people who are strong like that are secretive about it. Dedicated service is what made it what it is. Offer your thoughts to God. Make your reasons holy. Even your exercise should be holy. If you're making even a small, pleasing choice, you can explain disobeying in personal issues and use pleasure as an excuse for confidence. By minimizing anger and calling it wisdom, the unseen pollutants will seep into the beams of your calling and make the whole structure more likely to fall apart. You should also watch out for the slow loss of judgment. Do not let someone else's speed or platform force you to take shortcuts right now. Being brief doesn't always mean being cozy. No longer does wide always mean deep. Many AB blows don't always mean anointed. I'm not telling you to be the fastest and biggest. I want you to be natural because being pure keeps energy alive. While your spirit is calm in front of me, your words are strong, even if you say them in whispers. But if you paint with dirty motives, like envy posed as ambition or anger veiled as ardor, then your works, no matter how powerful they look, won't have eternal meaning. There's more to your building than just what will happen. You're building for fame. Not yours, mine. So walk around the outside of your base often. Allow me to ensure that the light permeates every area. Please let me into the parts you'd rather not look at. There's the quiet anger, the old hurts, and the choices you've made based on worry instead of religion. Let me check out the dirt under your plants. Because sometimes you're not losing, you're just standing on awful ground. And it's better to take a moment to clean up than to rush and feel awful afterwards. Many of them were built quickly, but few have lasted. I'm no longer telling you to flash. I want to leave a memory for you. You should also be careful about who you let into the building process. Now, not every person in your close group should be there. No one should touch the holy drawings I gave you. Be kind to everyone, but be careful with your right to enter. Some will want to join because they respect each other, but respect doesn't mean they're equal. They'll seem to support you, but they'll give you reasons that make what I'm growing through you less pure. Before each partnership, ask me for guidance. Let me tell you my plans. Let me cut back on links. Allow me to whisper when to say no, even if what they're offering seems acceptable. Like a seed, protect the idea, feed it, keep it safe, and don't let weeds get into its roots. I'm also telling you to be quiet if you want to. Nobody wants to see what you're building. Use drama as a shield. Let me show your progress at the time that works best for me. Maintaining secrecy can hold significant power, particularly in a society that equates fame with success. Most of the time, what grows in secret becomes stronger when it's revealed. I hid Moses before I brought him back to life. Before I defeated David, I kept him hidden. I even hid my son in Nazareth before sending him out into the world. I am keeping you a secret for now, because your base is still healing. Don't break that method by revealing something too soon. Stay down. Give up your life. Make the secret spot your safe haven. Prayer should be your level. Use prayer as a way to measure things. Don't listen yet. Keep your obedience. Furthermore, don't pass just because everyone is looking. Pass works best after I work out. So long as the winds are blowing, they may. The building you made will no longer shake when it rains, which it will. This is because it may not be held together by cheers, movement, or brand recognition. It will be based on truth, carved in closeness, and sealed with my breath. Consequently, anything constructed on that foundation will eventually collapse. Please remember that everything I asked you to build, clean, and make comfortable wasn't just for your benefit. It turns into 4 people you haven't met yet. They might show up, and they might not look neat. They might not show up at the right time or make a fantastic first impression. They will unexpectedly stumble and fall, shattered by conflicts you have not even engaged in and muttering questions you have already wept over. They will wear clothes that make you feel traumatized, worry about your eyes, and keep quiet longer than screams. They won't ask for your permission before cutting into your day. They might be the reward for all the years of teaching I've been giving you. In the storm, they'll need what you've learned in quiet. They may consume what you secretly sacrificed, as if it were water when they are thirsty. Additionally, they will not anticipate a ceremony at the altar. They will fall apart in your sight, where my spirit rests. That's why I've felt so at ease with you. This is why I've given you more directions. Changed the way you act in subtle ways, and taken away what seemed right, but didn't make sense in the long run. It's not because I used to be frustrated. The reason for these changes is that I was teaching you how to become a moving refuge. I never taught you to strive for greatness. It was my job to make you a safe place. Here, broken people don't just live to tell the tale, they come back to life. You might not always have time to read from the Bible, plan talks, or play prayer music in the background. The message needs to end. You need to stay in that fact so deeply that when someone breathes near you, they feel better, even if you don't say anything. Also, don't think they'll notice what you do. For some, your silence will be seen as pride, your authority as arrogance, and your wisdom as coolness. However, I have not yet asked you to explain yourself. I asked you to stay ready because, in their most desperate moments, it may not be your attention that saves them. Your presence will leave a lasting impression on me. The glow of respect, the space you've created, and the worshipful smell that stays from the things you talk about. They might remember your name. It will stick with them that the weight lifted as you listened without passing judgment. They'll remember how desire crept back into their voice while you were talking. This approach is more powerful than praying 1,000 times. These strange guests are not just people. They are homework. Long before you learned how to say, "Sure," to me, you made appointments that will last forever. Despite their apparent weakness, they possess the power to unlock new realms within you. Some people will consider your kindness interesting. Others will be able to use your prayers. Some will start to build up their endurance. Others will check out the next level of power I've hidden in you. They might not only push you out of line, but also into new things you can do. If you can resist their foe, you may also be able to prevent the growth I have planned for you. Do not assemble items in the decorated rooms at this time. Prepare by using cleaning products that purify the air. Deep clean your home. Make room in your heart. You need to clear up your issues so that when they come to you, there's room for their anger, tears, and confusion. It's not about reaching a certain level, but rather about providing a comfortable space for them to rest. They might not be coming to be amazed. They might be coming to be fixed up. So do not try to act. Just keep giving up. Your past actions should have a greater impact than the words you use today. Tell them this was written a long time ago. I was ready for you before you even knew you were coming. I earned what you're receiving now through nights of perseverance. There were times when I worked on something unseen, while no one was looking. When the subject was secret, there is no need for any payment. Just give yourself time to heal. This is how you should stand now. Open hands, steady eyes, and a heart that is hearing. There are no longer any locks on the doors. The time spent alone is over. What you gave birth to in silence is now ready to be shared. People come to your site not because of your ads, but because heaven whispered your name into their need. Be firm and honest. Find yourself completely. Seek them out, for I am dispatching them swiftly, and they won't come with warning anymore. They'll come with cuts. I trust you to keep what I gave you safe until they can stand. Yes. Amen.